Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Looming Twenties, the game that we thought was originally just going to be a one-shot, but then after we played it, man, I love these characters. We just keep coming back. Today is August 13th, 2019, and you are loved. That is a very important thing to remember, not only for those who are tuning in to watch, for those who are tuning in to listen, but for all of the other people that haven't even heard this yet. You are loved. And that, again, is very important to remember. So, if you know somebody who doesn't watch this show, you tell them that you love them. Spread it around. It's a good time. We do this show Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as I like to try and have Saturdays be a community day. So if you're interested and or enjoy the show that we have put on for you this evening, consider joining our Discord, either through our Patreon at patreon.com/indooradventures or in any of the Discord join links below, to possibly get in on a game with any of these fine people. It's a good time. Other than that, we got merch in our store. So if you are interested, we have posters, we got t-shirts, we got mugs, we got sweatshirts. We even have mugs for these fantastic characters. All of the art for our Looming 20s game is done up by our dear friend Satan, aka Alyssa Vamp, aka Satan. So all of the assets that you see for our characters was made locally. It was good times. I believe locally sourced, cruelty-free, or cruelty optional, I guess, because art. But GB. Actually, we'll start with Satan, and then GB, we will transfer it over to you, and then you can lead us in. So, Satan, who are you playing tonight?
Hello everyone, my name's Satan, and I'll be playing Lilith, the vampire mobster, who is very cliche and always wears black.
All right, Danae, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Wings, and I'm going to be playing Haka, the detective. That's it.
Just a detective. All right, and Jen, who are you playing?
I am playing Beltane Hawthorne, Lilith's right hand and enforcer. He's a 4,000-year-old fey creature.
And I am the indoor adventurer, and tonight I shall be playing as Hazel Harker, the psychic flapper who recently got turned into a vampire and might be having some mental stability issues, but who's to say? And with that, we will lead it to you, GB. Give us a little bit of a recap as to what our viewers might have missed in our previous adventures.
So, again, this is so much. Yes. This all started as a one shot that we were going to do, and we didn't know what we were doing until 1 a.m, the day of. And I came up with a system. These guys we mishmashed a few things together that I wanted to do and they wanted to do. And we brought the 20s Noire together with all the monsters in the universe that I can dream up and or draw from legend. We and so I put together Fate and Dungeon World and a couple other ones that I can't, the Cipher system, some stuff from each of them, and we pulled together a system that we have been enjoying a lot. And we put the veneer of the 20s on it by changing our some of our stats to moxie and brawn and whatnot. So then their first adventure, they took on an ancient primordial god and blew up half the town. And then a mobster werewolf and his gang went together and got together with the vampire mob and renamed the town. And the winter came, and as the winter came, the spirit of winter, a dragon, came and was going to make eternal winter, and the crew took them on. But as a sideline to that, Harker was murdered and went to the other realm and was brought back again. So she now has a bit of fae in her, and she resents it and hates it, and yet loves her sister so much. Oh, that's the part that we need to say. when they took on the primordial god, um, the sister nearly died, and the only way to save the sister was for Lilith, the vampire, to make Hazel a vampire also. So hence Hazel became a vampire. Harker freaked out because Harker had to kill her husband, who had been bitten by a werewolf previously, and had had to then kill.
I didn't know her trauma.
Yes. And so now she's got all this going on. One of the reasons Harker is the detective that she is because she can see beyond the veil. She can see the monsters for what they are. And the veil normally protects us normies, mundanes, muggles, whatever, from seeing mystical stuff. Sometimes the veil gets pretty thin around certain like holidays, like the solstices and Halloween, that kind of thing. So there's some crazy mysticism and folklore and everything going on. If you like Supernatural, you like Hellboy, this is the game for you. All right. So with that, what I need to do, because it has been months since we've been able to play this, let's go around one more time and talk about our powers so that I can get them back in my head. So where do you want to start there, Indoor?
I'll go first if that's the case, and then whoever finishes can pick the next person to go. How about that? Until we've gone around the table. So, my powers started off with Watch This, which was / is a telekinetic power that I have, because even though I was turned into a vampire by Lilith, Hazel started off as a very sweet, a little sweet psychic girl who used things like astral projection, back when she still had a soul. But now, her Watch This power has been slightly amplified to the point where last session she tore down a house on some people, which was very enjoyable for me as a player. But she does have the ability to move things psychically with Watch This. She got the Look Into My Eyes ability from her vampire sire Lilith, so that way she can do more charming-like effects, possibly interweaving in some of that psychic know-how that she already had before. There was the I Don't Drink Wine physical ability that she had gotten from Lilith as well. And one of the other abilities that we gave her was object reading, allowing her to do the Abe Sapien, like, oh, I've touched an object and now I can kind of get a sense of things related to it. Also, her last ability was called Cute as a Button, aka the Blood Charm. So if she bit somebody, any of the people that she bit through her vampire powers, she could then call upon in moments of need. And she has been biting quite a few people. But everyone just thinks she's cute as a button.
Isn't that sweet?
So I'm going to say Beltane.
All right. His powers involve a bit of the new world, a bit of the old world. Part of the old world is his invisibility, and it's an at-will ability, but the downfall is he's pretty allergic to iron, so he can't use it as often as he wants, as Fays are a bit allergic to that iron. Fading light, which is sort of a short distance jump ability. He can fade in and out of existence. But again, the downfall is he has a salt allergy, which is part of the old world ability that Fae are horribly allergic to salt. Persuasion, another old world ability, is part of his timeless charm. Guns, because he finds them absolutely fascinating. It's part of the new world ability. Driving, because he really loves cars. And mechanical, which allows him to drive any type of vehicle, which includes tanks. And he's starting to discover some of his very, very old abilities that he thought he was denied. And I will go over to Satan.
Lilith has. We started off with the Look Into My Eyes ability that Hazel had mentioned, which is to charm people or creatures. The I Don't Drink Wine ability, which again Hazel has, which is just regaining HP when you bite someone because you're feeding. And you're also able to do damage. She has the Now You See Me ability, which she's able to move very, very quickly, almost appearing from one point to another. Unleash the Beast, which is her going like full vampire beast form. So that gives her more attack damage, and she can ignore damage. And then the last episode, we gave her the Heart of Darkness, which is control over shadows.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's
so
right.
she can control shadows to do what she wants. She can manipulate them on the ground. She can bring them up and make them uh
Corporal.
solid, corporal, yeah. And she likes that a lot. And now we'll go over to Wings.
All right. Harker, being a detective and specializing in gathering information. First thing she has is the sight, which allows her to see past the veil and well, like she's a normal dang human. I should preface this, as opposed to like an older fae or a vampire or a psychic that's been turned into a vampire. She's just a human. But she was able to see all of the weird shit going on. She has hit the streets, which allows her to roll with Moxie and gain information and rumors from her horde of goblin paper boys, which may or may not exist anymore. I think they all died.
But they breed like goblins, so they'll be back. No worries.
They'll be back one of these days. She also has Crackshot because she used to be with the police force and she trained extensively with a pistol. She has Know Thy Enemy from all of her extensive knowledge of supernatural creatures. Allows her to re-roll int checks because I don't think she has that high of an intelligence, but a re-roll has usually been quite kind to her. And then the last thing that she got was from last time we played. Technically the last time we played, because we got a spooky book from a Nazi gnome, and she had been reading it and gaining some like abyssal, mysterious magical powers from those. So she is able to add a d4 of a magical bonus to various things. So far, all she's used it for is to like grab stuff from across the room when she doesn't want to move the cat. So, oh, she's got a cat too.
A two-tailed fairy cat.
A two-tailed fey cat called Porcupine.
Or
So
pork for short.
we just call it Pork.
Pork for short. All right, and I'm gonna check my notes real quick.
She also was murdered and brought back to life by Beltane. So that means
I didn't
that
murder the detective.
you were not. I
There's a big
understand that the
distinction.
wording there was a little bit suspect. No, he did not murder me, but he did bring me back to life against my will, and now he's my Fey dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for my sister to get brought back to life where humans were supposed to die.
Hazel has a new vampire mom, and Harker has a new fey dad.
I hate you, Dad.
Beltane,
Oh.
we're parents.
Oh no.
Finally got the family you've always wanted. Real quick, Lilith, remind us again what happened to Rosie.
She's my wife.
Okay.
And
Well, I couldn't remember.
That's what happened to her.
Yeah, because I remember we did have the wedding, but I couldn't remember.
no, we didn't have the wedding.
What you did?
No, I
They've just
said
been-
they've been
yeah.
too busy to have a wedding. They just consider each other married.
Okay, all right.
But we saved her in the first game from the primordial, trying to suck her strength out with some weird goo.
Yep.
And then she was just mentioned once in the beginning, I think, in the game of the second game, which is fine because I don't want you to be like role playing 3 different like NPCs. At the same time.
And that also kept her out of harm's way for
Yeah.
most of that adventure. So, so good there. Besides, someone has to look over the, knocking the chuckleheads of the mobsters
Yeah.
together on a daily basis, where only Rosie knows that you're really the power behind the throne still, or did you finally kind of be like, no, it's me. You better listen.
I said that she took more of a initiative in being part of and being seen as part of the like mastermind behind it.
Right.
But I think it's still like her and Rosie, not just her, because then it's not just her in harm's way.
Right. And I mean, like when you went to Don Biggie Bad Wolf, you definitely were like, nope,
Yeah,
vampire.
I was like, listen here. Yeah, and I was her attitude was very much I run this shit.
Yep. Okay. Good. All right. Well, we begin with an envelope arriving for Lilith. It's by courier. It's by night. It is in a plain brown wrapping, and who would receive the package at the door?
Probably the guards at the gate, which they would then hand to Beltane, which then he would hand to me.
Okay. All right. Beltane, give me a moxie roll.
Okay.
We love our moxie in this game. So
Yeah, that's great. That's 4.
okay. 4? Like 4.
4. I rolled really low. Okay, my
Okay.
moxie is near bad.
This must be shoes or something. So you take the shoes to Lilith. Why do they summon me for the shoes? Okay. So you Lilith, where are you at currently?
It's nighttime,
Yep.
so
I
I would.
should have described Lilith's manor is a older manor house, probably turn of the century. It's got wrought iron fence around it to keep out unwanted fae. She has goblins, orcs, and peeps, real people in employ in their mob organization, and hence some of them are more monstrous than others. And the place itself is, like I said, turn of the century, but with new, little more modern twists to it, and hence we come into the scene of Lilith's office.
Sure, she works late sometimes.
Okay.
Just hold up the shoes. I don't know if here. Set on the desk.
Do you want me to roll for Moxie?
Nope. You're
Okay.
not a fae.
These aren't shoes, Beltane.
Try to share their shoes.
How much do you want to bet?
Well, I have 2 coins from the leprechaun horde, so 2 coins and a gem.
Okay. I will bet you my coin from the Red Dragon of Wells.
All right.
I'm gonna open it. It's a shoes.
You tear apart the brown paper, and the box is way too thin to be shoes, unless they had laid them down or whatever. When you do open it, it's a the as the paper pulls away, there's like a nice wrapping paper, like a gift. And then as you pull that apart, it's a box, a wooden box that's like probably 3 times the size of a cigar box, but again, pretty thin. It's got a simple latch, and it's probably not cedar, not pine, spruce.
Spruce. Okay, fancy. Uh, can I want to say, can I check it for traps? Can I check it?
So you're
It's a
suspicious?
spring-loaded steak
Sure.
in a box. Classic.
You use your brains. Use your brains.
Use my
to check.
brains. It's 2d6, right?
Yes.
6, 7, 8, 9.
9. Okay. You you succeed, but in your search, you you fumble the box, and it falls on one corner, and
Damn it.
it was rather thin, spruce, which is like coffin wood. It's what you would make a coffin out of, in certain parts of the country. And the corner splits and it breaks apart, and there's red velvet. There's red velvet kind of pours out onto your table, and you see something gold and glittery amongst the red velvet.
I will look through it. What is the gold glittery thing amongst the red velvet?
It is a gold. It's not plated. Gold foil. It's a gold foil envelope that's embossed
Ooh.
around the edges.
Before I open it, I'm gonna look at Belton. Pay up.
Just produce a coin and set 2 down and produce the gem.
I'm gonna look over the. Does it say anything?
So as you pick it up,
Yeah.
okay, you pick it up, and you notice that the lattice work around the envelope is all little bats, all intertwined in such a way that if you didn't really look at it or have vampiric senses, you might miss it. And so it's all around the edges is embossed with this little bats motif, like a knotwork almost. And then there is a seal, which you recognize as the seal of your sire's sire. And what is their name?
Fuck.
You know I do this in this game, so.
Delilah.
Delilah, nice. Okay. And okay, so Delilah is your sire's sire. Yeah, folks out there in the audience, this is a lot of improv. So at points we may even ask you for things. So okay, so it is the embossed foil stamp of Delilah. Do you have an idea of what that stamp may be, or do you want me to throw it to someone else and put them on the spot?
I would say it's like a vine with thorns and roses.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you do with this gold foiled envelope?
I don't like this, Beltane.
Well, she hasn't come and killed us yet, so.
That is very true. But I did kill.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
In a fire.
It's and beheaded.
Yep.
But. Well, let's see what it says.
To the audience, we flash over. Lilith slices the head from her sire and starts the place on fire.
She ripped his head off.
Oh,
yeah, it was personal.
It was very personal. Okay, so that was the flash, so that the audience is in the scene with us, and you don't like this, Beltane.
I've heard stories of Delilah, and I don't like her. She's bad news, in my opinion.
And I will open the envelope. And what does it say? What does the letter say?
So as you break the seal, you swear that you hear your dark heart thump.
Oh no.
I mean, literally, this is something you have not felt in like what
Over 100 years.
years, and so it scares you. But you open it, and it begins to. It's a very flowing hand. It appears that it is not ink but blood that it is written in, and
I
it
like
is
it.
an invitation.
That's metal as fuck.
It is an invitation to a masquerade ball, and it talks about the desire to meet their new great great grand progeny. You must bring said Hazel to the ball upon the I don't know what day Fat Tuesday is this year in 1920 whatever.
Upon the fattest of Tuesdays.
Tuesday. on one of our high holidays.
Whatever Strove Tuesday is.
For the for the high holiday and our feasting.
How did she ever find out? I have to speak with Hazel about keeping her secret and about leaving trails of bodies where she goes and about feeding from so many people.
Y- Yes, sure, yeah.
Again, I have to do it again. Dear lords, dear gods. Okay, well, Lilith will tell Beltane what the letter says. I don't like this. Again, I don't like this at all. But I don't think we can deny her this request because if she already knows, she will come after and she will take offense, and you do not want to offend a vampire, I assure you.
Yeah.
Particularly of that age.
Particularly of that age, yes.
Probably should introduce her to more of vampiric kind. I mean, we're a bit isolated out here. And to
I
be
like it
honest,
that
Hazel's.
way.
Yeah, it's nice, but even I have pixies to talk to.
You know, I let her go out on the town whenever she likes. It's not as if she's stuck here. Wish I might have to actually do it because she's her.
You're going to ground Hazel. I would love to see you do that. Yes.
I think
Let's
I
go
am.
ground Hazel.
Lilith's gonna go out of her office, look for Hazel's just yelling, "Young lady,
And
you come right here this instance."
do you want to basically spend a blood point to project throughout the manor?
Yes, I'll do that.
All right. So, young lady, come here right this instance. Wherever you happen to be, Hazel, which was where?
Is it daytime or nighttime?
It's nighttime.
I was going dancing.
Well, you can hear me inside your head.
And as far as dancing means, that means doing the same thing I was doing last time when it was dark out, and that's
Not
roughing up bad
dancing.
boys. Hurt
the
my
dance of
gals.
death.
Okay, so let's say it was early enough in the evening that you were. What is your attire? Just tell us physically what Hazel looks like.
Well,
We know,
it's
but-
February, so it's still winter, and we're in like a New Englandy place.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, so if
Right.
that's the case, you would be wearing heavier clothes, which the prospect of me even saying that now that it's like 90 degrees where I am is just like, why? But she would be wearing heavier clothes. She would be going out along the docks or like the rougher areas of town where people have been known to rough up the ladies or give other people who are a little bit downtrodden a hard time. And she's doing some street justice in her own hazily way, which is usually either kill or drink. Depends. if they're big and strong, she might be able to use them later and just convince them otherwise. But if they're irredeemable, yeah, drink them and then maybe their body gets
Drink them
down
and
that much.
they all drink them and kill them.
Yeah, you know,
Pop them in the harbor. Bah.
same as we always do.
Drain them and drown them.
It's not like people will connect this to like a serial murderer or anything.
Cut to Harker just reading a newspaper and shaking her head.
Another gangster found drowned in the port. So let's go ahead. Whilst you are are you returning to the house then, Hazel?
I would say if it's late enough, I'm returning to the house. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I got a belly full of blood. It's a good day.
Okay, but you just heard your sire yell out to you.
Just like this kind of like. Normally she has a very chipper expression on her face when she frowns, and it's just like, oh God, what happened? So like that is very much the like dark expression of just, God damn it. And then
And what does Hazel physically look like again? At this
Hazel
point?
is she's a dainty flapper. If anything, she is very small. Maybe like 5'5", 5'6". She's got a head of auburn hair cropped into a bob, and pale as night skin because vampire. She can't go out in the day anymore, and after years of doing that, she's just kind of adopted the style. And where normally she would have had very, very gorgeous hazel eyes, they've been instead kind of replaced with a more blood red color because, well, she's a vampire now.
I had forgotten about the blood red eyes.
But yeah, she carries like a little purse in front of her most times.
Yep. Okay, so let's say you're returning home.
Damn it.
Let's move in. Swing across town. Harker, what is your late night routine?
She's sleeping.
Yeah?
Yeah, like a normal dang person.
Fucking nerd.
Fucking
Is that normal? Because most of the supernatural cases are people banging on your door in the middle of the night, trying to get you.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I don't know. I want some input here. Do you guys think that she's like had a lot of work lately, or has she like continued her streak of no work?
I think things have quieted down, mostly because Hazel's been drinking the bad people.
No, but like that's the thing.
She's
though.
had a rash of missing husbands crop up.
I was
Missing
gonna.
sons, missing boyfriends.
I was gonna say, like, the last time that we played this, you kept getting like, oh my God, like there's a weird like occult serial murderer from the police getting pushed towards you as part of the occult thing, and just, God damn it, that's my sister again.
But so you're not really working it, I would say.
Yeah, it's all like, don't know what to tell you. That's freaking weird. Whatever.
Damn it, Hazel.
Damn it, Hazel.
Yeah, you actually had covered up at least one thing that I remember. The building pulled down on the people, I think, was something that you helped cover up. Okay, so what is Harker's routine then? Is she sleeping? Is she?
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
the
she's
office?
I feel like she's started to recover from like her 5-year stint of depression. And she's actually started to do a little bit of like mortal work. So
Okay.
she's sleeping at night now, and then, waking up early in the morning to like see crying dames who want her to check if their husband is off cheating on them. And it's like, yeah, he was cheating on you, but now I found him drowned in the harbor. So sorry about that.
So
Money,
it's kind of like,
please.
oh no, they're cheating on me, but they're dead, so that's okay.
So does this also
Well,
have
the
to?
bad news is your husband was cheating on you. The good news is he's dead now and you can collect on the insurance.
Oh my God! I was gonna say, like you grow flowers out of yourself now, right? Like, is this more of a like you need to photosynthesize?
That's only when you have
Maybe.
wounds, though, right?
Yeah, well, I can see her, yeah, actually needing a little bit of sunlight, because otherwise she just winds up getting sluggish. I think that she has kind of experienced a forced circadian rhythm, like internal clock reset, where she just slowed down more and more until she realized, oh, if I sleep at night, then I do better.
Beltane, what was your court originally?
It was spring before
Okay.
I was banished out of it.
Okay, so that does make a lot of sense that you are Harker is now called to the sun. So Harker's asleep, and the voice in her head is talking along, telling her tales of times past and ancient glories, and as Lilith uh, enunciates your sister's name, the shall we say the voice in your head stutters for a moment and and almost growls. And I would like you to make a fortitude roll.
Ooh,
Parker
interesting.
doesn't like me already. Doesn't need a voice in her head telling her to not like me even more.
Fortitude roll. Okay. 10.
Oh, a 10. Okay, a success. Your Lilith's ring out, your sister's name comes into your head, and you have this wonderful little dream, this vision of your originally Hazel was blonde haired, or is that Harker?
Auburn.
She's
Yeah.
always
Yeah, it was
been
the
an
same.
Auburn.
Parker has the blonde hair.
Oh, okay. All right. So your sister in a sundress, standing in the office, the shades barely open because you're hungover, but when she came in, she cranked them open and the sun shined through, and you see your sister in the sunshine, and you smile as you lift your cup of, what was your drink? Rum?
Her drink was whatever she could get a hold of in this
Okay.
prohibition era.
Hooch. There was hooch in the cup, and so you're lifting your cup, and your little smile at your sister when she begins to burst into flames. The sunlight rips through her body in slices, and she just sort of starts to flame up. She doesn't appear to be screaming or affected, but she just starts to turn to dust and fall, like almost like suddenly it's snowing in your office. And that's when you wake up startled, and what's your pork pork, your cat, like hisses, and then looks over, and Pork looks over at the book and hisses more at the book, and then flees the room, cat zoomy style. And you have a feeling this was not just a normal dream.
She's gonna get up immediately and open up that book. And I imagine she even like lights a few candles and like spreads some salt or and like she does a little bit more than she used to because she's learned what makes it more effective since then.
Okay. And what knowledge are you wishing to glean from the book?
I think she wants to know where her sister is.
All right. I need to move this chart. That's what I need. All right. Give me a brains roll.
Brains.
Brains. More brains.
Six.
6. Ooh. Okay. We should be marking experience for those failed rolls. So
I suppose I will.
anyone who failed one, mark it down. Okay. So that is a failure. Okay. You suddenly feel excited, happy, you're overwhelmed with this like giddiness, this happiness, and you notice that Pork, when you started laughing, Pork like comes in the room like, and rubs the door frame like, okay, and then sees the book and sees you at the book, and you don't know why, but you suddenly just hate Pork. You just hate
Oh no.
him. And you look at Pork, and Pork goes and backs out of the room, and you start laughing, like an uncontrollable like laugh, like a giddy laugh. And you what knowledge were you looking for? Sorry.
I was trying to find Hazel.
Ah, and you are given a solid vision of Hazel. Hazel, were you headed back to the house?
As much as better judgment told me no, yeah, I was.
Okay.
Also, I had a question. What is for our luck points? Do they reset?
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
Your luck and your physique, your sanity, those should all be reset to their max numbers, their current max numbers.
Good.
Yes.
I have more luck than I do physical presence.
Jeez. That's really?
Well,
That's
no. I have 4 luck and then 11 physical.
Oh, okay.
But my brawn is 0 and my fortitude is 0, so...
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so, yeah, you are given a clear... This is one of the clearest visions you've ever had from the book. You think what you did must have really been the right thing to do. You're like, sage, gotta burn a nip of sage in that candle. So Hazel returns to the house. Harker, we set you aside for a moment. Hazel returns. Lilith, where are you? Because it takes her a while, because she does not have the vampiric zoomies that you do.
I am in that classic waiting in like the living room on a chair with a lamp just turned on next to me, and it's that like dramatic lighting.
Okay. Why don't you, in this dramatic lighting, why don't you give us a physical description of Lilith, because we've not had that yet.
Lilith is sitting in the chair, her arms on the armrest, legs crossed. She turns on a lamp as Hazel gets in, and you see Lilith sitting there, very pale skin. Not only was she French, well, she is French, so when so she's very pale, but she's dead, so it's even more pale. She has dark black hair. Her clothes are all black as well. Right now, I would say let's give her a suit instead of a dress right now. Very nice, very finely made. Yes, really good.
Do you have the coat on also, or is it just like the vest and the overshirt type thing right now?
If she's at home, she would just have the shirt and then the vest on. Um and it's all like it has like brocade on it, so it has details on it, and like it has like nice like little details on the edge, and the buttons have little glints of like of shine and stuff. She's very fancy. When she was human, she was from also a very like wealthy family, so that carried on through her life.
Okay.
And
you have the old money mixed now with
yes, I do have the old money in my stuff. It's just a stuff, so
which is perfect for a Noire 20s game.
Yeah.
Stuff.
So she's sitting there. I want to say just because it looks nice, she has like gloves on, like leather gloves as well, even though she's at home. Yeah. And so her hair is long and black, and she has a very dark red lipstick, contrasting, because Harker has a bright red lipstick, Lilith has a blood red lipstick. And so she's there with a slightly disappointed and upset face as Hazel gets in. And where were you tonight, young lady?
Well, I was out dancing, with the boys down by the pier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know exactly how you dance with the boys down by the pier.
Well, I'm doing good work down there. A lot of the
Yes,
girls, they're not talking about men roughing them up no more. And haven't gotten caught yet. I did what you told me to last time, which is if they got bats that are sharpened into large stakes, that you take those bats and then you throw them into the pier as well.
Yes, very, very good. But it seems like these bodies are being found and becoming a problem. People know you're out there. They know what you are, and not good people.
But maybe there's some of the people that I possibly have under my own retinue. I seen what you done with all your little underlings, and well, I isn't that the same thing that I'm doing? I'm just trying to learn from the best, and you're the best that there is. She just kind of like bats her eyes at you, and she looks very doe-like.
You are very right. I am the best at what I do. But you are also unorganized, and you are leaving a trail of bodies leading right up to you and to me.
But I'm so hungry.
There are willing people in our mob that are willing to give you their blood. You don't have to hunt. I understand what you're trying to do, but instead of killing them, you beat up some of them near to death, and that sends a message. Nobody's going to say that a little, young woman beat them up. They're going to make a bigger deal out of it, and they're going to make a bigger monster out of it, and that's going to scare other people. That's how you do it.
So what you're saying is that I should beat him near to death and then drink him, not all the way to death after I drink him.
Exactly.
I see how this could be more advantageous.
Don't kill them, because again, they're
But
going
what if I
to
kill
create
some
their
of
own.
them?
Well, you just try your best not to. Or, young lady, I'm going to ground you.
Why would you say that? I gotta go outside. I gotta breathe in the air of the bay. I have to go dancing, but like real dancing and not like the dancing that I just alluded to.
Then why haven't you been out dancing and you've been dancing like the dancing you have alluded to then?
Well, it's because it's more fun. I've never had a dance partner after Joe. His name wasn't Joe, his name was John. That was sometimes the name that we called him.
I'm sorry, Adore, that's totally my fault.
That's okay. I haven't had as good a dance partner after his death, and ever since I stopped being able to send myself into the spirit world, it just hasn't been the same.
I can understand that, and I am sorry.
So I've been sending him messages in the only way I know how.
Have you been sending him message by killing people, telling them the message, killing people, so they go into the afterlife for him to meet?
I mean, yeah. Obviously.
Creep.
I charm him, I give him a message, I send him down the river, and then, hopefully, I haven't really done much follow-up on it, but I'm assuming what happens is that after that, when they die, they're still, under the influence.
Hazel?
Yeah?
I am very much connected to other supernatural creatures. I know witches. I know a very powerful witch who could, I don't know, do a seance if you wanted to. There are simpler ways to do this.
But this is one of those two birds, one stone scenarios.
How do you know if he's getting the mess? Also, I imagine Beltane's behind the chair just laughing.
Yeah, he's lost it at this point.
There are other ways to go about things.
No one ever told me about this kind of stuff. Whenever I ask, you always say that you're too busy. And then I gotta go ask Mr. Beltane. And then he's not exactly the most helpful when it comes to talking with the dead. He describes it as unnatural sometimes. Except for, in regards to you and I. So I just figure, as long as it's not unnatural, because again, in regards to you or I, that it was fine.
Lilith
Hazel,
is
you are absolutely worse than a fae at this point.
I don't know if that's a compliment or a negative.
it's a negative.
It's a negative coming from a fae.
Lilith is gonna stand up and put her arms on Hazel's shoulders, her hands on Hazel's shoulders, and be like, I will make more time for you. I am sorry that I have not been spending time with you or answering your questions. You are very right. I have to take a responsibility as your sire, and it seems like I am some type of mother to you, apparently. This is what we're going with. Yes, this is what we're going with. Okay.
I'll buy it.
This is what it feels like right now because I just threatened to ground you. But we will make plans, spend some days together, go out, we can go out to my club and you can go dancing. There are many great partners there. I can dance with you, Belton can dance with you. You can invite your sister. Okay, Belton doesn't have to dance with you. I don't have to dance with you. You can dance with whoever you want.
I'm a very good dancer.
I know you are, darling, but if she doesn't want to dance with you, you can't make her dance with you.
Hazel, would you like to dance with me sometime?
Sometime maybe, yeah, sure, Mr. B.
There we go. I am a great dancer.
And Beltane is dapper AF.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Belton
yes.
is very handsome. He is a very good dancer, I will say.
All right. Are you going to say anything to Hazel about your upcoming trip?
We can spend time together right now.
Really? You mean it? And you're not
Yes.
just saying that because I put another couple people in the bay.
The kelpies will eat them. It's fine.
It's fine. Let's spend some time together right now while I explain to you some things about my past.
Well, that just sounds more like a history lesson than it does hanging out.
Well, we'll hang out as well after we talk about this thing that's very important because I received a letter.
Oh, who's it from?
So, you know how I'm your sire, right?
Yeah.
So I had a sire.
You killed him.
Yes, I did. But he had a sire, a woman
Oh.
named Delilah. And so it's kind of like family, but not really.
Is
Very
she like
much
my
not
great
really.
grandmother?
Kind of.
Hmm.
But we don't like her.
Why? She has a very pretty name.
A very pretty name, yes. Not a very pretty personality. But she knows about you.
Oh?
Yes. And she would like to meet you.
Is that a good thing?
No, it's not a good thing. It's a
Okay.
very, very bad thing.
All right, so a bad thing.
Yes, a bad thing.
Hmm.
So,
She gonna look really old?
no, she's gonna
Oh.
look as young as she was when she was turned. Like you're gonna look like that forever, and I'm gonna look like this forever.
I'm gonna look in my prime forever.
Yes. I really should spend more time with you and explain things to you.
It's been a few years.
I'm so sorry. She's going to hug Hazel.
Because really, in your lifespan, Lilith, what is a few years?
When you're as old as I am, and I'm not that old compared to Delilah and other, I'm sure, vampires. There's not a lot of us. A few years is not as much. I am well into my first century. You can ask Beltane. He's well into his fourth millennia. A few years is not. But
It's pennies, really.
Well, it feels like a long time when you were 22 and now you're 27.
Yes, I forget that you are just recently turned. I am sorry. I will spend much
Are
more
you
time with
okay?
you. I
You
there's a
don't
lot
normally
going.
apologize.
I don't normally apologize, but I believe it is partially my fault that we are in this situation because I did not spend time with you.
Oh, okay, well, are we gonna spend time seeing great grandsire, or are we gonna go spend time at the club? I'm not really sure where this is going.
Ha We're going to have to go see her, but besides this, so that is some time we will spend together because I will not leave you alone with her around. I care about you, Hazel, despite what you may think, but we will spend time together as you want. Whatever you want, in whatever manner you want.
I've heard this before. Not from you, but I've heard it. It's okay.
So you
Hazel,
know,
We
You
can have
said
different
that.
hobbies. It's fine.
I know, but we can go out for tea sometime, which it will really just be blood, but in a
It's
teacup.
what I was doing before.
It's not the same.
okay.
Ladies, should I? Hazel, do you want me to bring your sister to help you ease into vampiric society?
Look, if we're going to meet some vampires, and they're vampires we're not especially fond of, we gotta find the smartest, strongest woman I know. My big sis.
You know what? You are very right. And you know what? I also need to know where Delilah is. Beltane, do you still have that book?
Actually, in the gold leaf invitation, it said that it's during it's Fat Day, the high celebration in New Orleans, and it had an address and everything. Accommodations will be made.
I want to know where she is right at this moment. And I also want to bring up the fact that Beltane didn't tell me about given Harker having the book.
So I may have lost it to the detective.
You may have what?
Detective lifted it off of me, and I just didn't go back because I feel exceptionally guilty for what I did.
And how long ago was that, Beltane?
Few
Mhm.
months.
A
Mm-hmm.
few months? No, it's been years.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna go get the detective because she's. Yep, not gonna kill me.
No, we're all going together.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Let's go, Hazel. We're going to go see your sister.
Whatever you say, Mrs. L.
I go to my room and pick up a little package I have for the detective and head back out. Nobody steal this from me.
What is your newest vehicle's name?
Oh, the newest vehicle, I've been calling it Isla.
Isla?
After the Hebrideans island, Isla.
Ah, nice. All right, and what is it?
It is the latest model. It's a very nice, slick 1920s Art Deco, Art Nouveau, slick, almost Batman style kind of vehicle you see in the early 1990s Batman cartoons. It's very nice and sexy. It's silver, black, has all nice trimming onto it, and it's really well taken care of. Nice polish to it.
And you
Leather seats.
And Lilith, you know that you're either going to have to take a train or a truck across country, or you're only going to be able to drive at night, and you'll have to stop places along the way.
We can take a train.
Yep, you can rent a private car, the whole thing, and have
First class.
have the windows blackout curtains and whatnot for said vampires. So yes, that's all that can all be taken care of. Scene outside Harker Detective Agency. The Ilsa, how did you say it?
Isla.
Isla pulls up in front. It kind of comes around the corner at too fast for this vehicle's speed, really, and sort of slides in the slightly small puddles of the cobblestone road and stops abruptly yet smoothly in front of Harker Detective.
Like, get out, open the door for Hazel and Lilith, and just kind of pat Isla. She's not Tatiana, but she's pretty amazing, I have to say.
I know. I told you I'd still get you a pretty good one.
It's not the same.
Who gave her up?
Look, I I go to the door and stop. Take off my hat. I can't knock on this door.
I won't.
Can I?
Not because it's barred or warded, it's just last time the detective, it's bad news for me.
I will knock
Ever.
on the door.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I used to work here. I know that there's a bell inside, like a little dingling bell. Could I possibly use my watch this to cause that bell to just jingle incessantly until my sister comes and opens up the door?
Yeah. I like that. Jingle, 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 jingle. What?
Just
Oh, it's you.
oh hey
I
sis.
have the
Put away
detective.
the pistol that she has.
Oh, detective.
I give the detective a package.
Is this given freely?
Yes, you're
Thank
immortal.
you.
That law doesn't apply between us anymore.
All the habits, my friend. All the habits.
Yeah.
She takes the package and throws it into the building. So what brought out the whole menagerie?
May we come in, detective?
I got you a new mug.
It just shatters.
They don't call me Mug Chucker for nothing.
Who calls you that? I've never heard this name.
She chucked a mug at me when I brought her back.
All right. Time.
Who'd you kill this time?
Sorry.
No
wait.
one!
Time. We have to tell. So when Harker had her mug of hooch, and her and Beltane walked out, didn't see the gunman put the gun into Harker's guts and shoot her. When she fell, she dropped her mug and it shattered, and so that's where the whole hilarity of the bringing a mug, and then she chucked a mug at her later on, and so anyway, I just wanted to let the audience have that flashback with us. So.
See Looming 20s,
my
season
God.
2 or session 2.
Yes. So now you have chucked said gift mug aside and continue.
Oops.
It had
So, who'd
had a
you kill this
Christmas-
time?
Nobody.
Only a few people, but that's besides the point.
This is why we're here. Well, partly the reason. We're all going on a big family trip. How does that sound? I will pay you.
It's been a
Okay,
while
that's
since you
the
got
part
out.
that I needed to hear. I was about to say, I mean, I thought we'd work this out, that I get her on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
You do get her on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but right now we're all going together.
I better be, because if you're going on a trip, then she's not going to be here for Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I know.
So
this
obviously
is why
I
we're
need to go
here,
with you.
Parker. What does it look like I'm doing?
Wait here. She pointedly does not invite anybody in, and there is a commotion inside as she packs. You can see like horseshoes and stakes go flying across the room. What are we fighting this time? What do I gotta pack?
Vampires.
Vampires. How am I not
Possibly.
surprised?
Hopefully not fighting, but it's possible. So you know how you don't really like vampires?
She like picks up a chair and just like pulls off the leg of it, and then starts
Exactly.
poking at it like with this, like the pointy end of it, making a rudimentary stake. It's like, what makes you think that?
Oh, just a feeling. Well, I don't like these vampires.
All right. Okay, I'm listening. What you're saying is that there are vampires that I'm allowed to go after.
Dip, you might be.
All right, that's all I
No.
needed to hear, and that's all I choose to hear. Let me just finish
Okay.
packing.
Oh
Not
god.
that's expensive.
Hazel's gonna lean over to Lilith. How come it's wrong when I kill people, but when you tell Harker, when you tell my sis it's okay, suddenly it's fine?
I'm not saying it's wrong to kill people. I'm saying
She's bringing a lot of stakes for her to not kill anybody.
I'm saying it's wrong to do it unorganized.
Right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
She's gonna come out all decked out in vampire hunting gear. She's got like a necklace of garlic. She is gonna hastily write a note and tack it to the door, basically saying that she's gonna be gone until out to lunch, and doesn't say when she's coming back. Just tacks it up on the door, and she's like, "I swear, you guys, it's like nothing but widows who don't know they're widows yet. I feel like a funeral director here instead of a detective."
Lilith's just gonna look at Hazel.
Well,
Anyway, we're gonna be going via train, so if you want to pack clothes. Also, it's a masquerade, so we'll have to buy you some outfits and some masks. It's
You
gonna
have
be
to wear a dress.
you have to wear a
Damn
dress.
it. Damn it.
Something thumps against the door, and you hear meow.
Well, oh, you don't have to wear a dress if you don't want to.
Why is Pork
can-
freaking out?
Because Pork knows that he's being left behind. Because Harper just loaded
Food
everything
for Pork?
left.
What happened to escapism, Graybeard?
Uh-huh. That's why I'm doing it, because a certain Lord Dickhead freaks me out.
She's pouring like a big old box of cat food into like into a cat dish, just like emptying out the box
The
into a
box
big
covers.
huge pile.
We'll send some people to take care of Pork. Also, detective,
What?
my dear darling detective,
Uh-oh.
where's the book?
What book?
And Harker, you realize that you packed it. You didn't even mean to or think about it, but it's on your person right now.
How many times have you used this book, detective?
How many years has it been?
5.
Ah. Once or
Are you-
twice.
Lies.
Do you have it on you, detective?
She's gonna kind of like pat around and like, find the book and start to pull it out, and then just kind of tuck it back in there. And then she's just gonna pull out some cigarettes and light it. And she's like, "Why? What are you talking about?"
We'll talk about this later, detective.
All right, that's good enough for me. Let's go. She picks up all of her luggage and just like goes out the door,
Lilith
trailing
kind of
vampire hunting stuff.
Lilith mimics Harker and takes out a cigarette, starts lighting it, and with a sigh, starts smoking. This is what you do to me, all of you.
I can't believe I'm actually the most innocent person here. Let's go.
Oh no, we will talk later about this, Beltane. You are not free of guilt in this situation.
well, I don't feel guilty about anything I've done.
I know you don't, Hazel.
Belle, is there supposed to be a body in the trunk?
Yep.
Was this guy supposed to be alive?
At some point, I'm sure he was.
I was supposed
It's
to
gonna be
interrogate
a
him
long
after-
drive.
Oops. He's
She's
trying to
gonna
rob
throw-
us.
She's just gonna look at it for a second and then throw her luggage on top of it, and then
And we're going. I can say that Lilith, I don't know if you want to make a montage because we only have so much time.
Yep.
But I already had certain outfits and dresses and already packed for everyone. I know what everybody likes, and I'm pretty stylish. Just saying.
Everybody in oversized sunglasses, sun
They're not.
hats.
And you're also meaning for the ball also.
Yeah,
correct?
for the ball. I mean, for the
Okay.
ball. Yeah, everybody can.
Oh,
have
I'm
their
just
own
talking about
clothes.
road trip.
Oh yeah. No, for the road trip. She has everything packed for the ball for everyone. Beautifully made outfits from a very personal tailor. Um, and they're all going to be to everyone's liking. She's very sure. And we are going to be off now. Beltane, we will talk later about you keeping certain things from me. Detective, we will talk later about that book. And Hazel, we will keep talking about the things we've talked about later.
And,
Everybody get in.
and as you guys get to the train station and get, of course they're like, oh, of course, Miss Lilith, of course, and they usher you to your private car, and you notice there's a truck sitting there, and it's got the wolf's head and the Biggie Bad Wolf trucking company label, and rather big rough looking individuals who are very hairy are loading up your trunks, because all this luggage and stuff was too much to take in poor Isla. You couldn't load it all in there because these are gowns and everything else, so you had to have the Biggie Bad Wolf, the werewolves, actually use their trucks to move your luggage aboard. And as they see you, they're like, ma'am. And Harker, you can tell they're werewolves. The vampires can smell their werewolves. And Beltane, you've probably been around long enough to know that these guys are werewolves, but they're also your now longtime allies. So
Lilith still gives them a pointed look, just so they know she knows. So they
Okay.
know who's in charge here.
all right.
But also, thank you. Here's a tip.
Nice. Yeah, you're welcome, ma'am. And they're like, all right, we'll get some steaks on the way back. And they
Which kind?
not that kind. And the truck rumbles away. You guys are come aboard. Beltane, what does this private car look like?
Oh, it has beautiful mahogany wood, brass inlay, paisley of era decor, carpet. The door is a sleek, very nice silver-toned oak frame door. The interior has a very nice compartment, bed, overhang, seating, a lounge area. It spans about the entire carriage, and has separate rooms for each of them. It's very well tailored to each of their needs. So, blackout lights and curtains for vampires, Harker with her desk and stuff if she should need it. Beltane has little plants that he keeps in the little window in his room. and
So
it's very nice.
is Beltane's room the only one with a real window?
Yes.
Okay, so all the windows on the outside of the car are actually fake windows
Yes.
that are like frames with like a fake curtain in it to look like a window, but there's actually a wall behind it because vampires. Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure in case it comes up.
So we don't burn to death.
Yes, yes. Oh, and there's a little window in like the loo bathroom area, I guess.
Okay.
So you could open and close it.
Okay. And then we're gonna say both ends of the car have like a airlock type deal where it's you open one door, you close the door, you open the other door, kind of thing. So you got to go in without sunlight bursting through. Okay. And then as you guys enter the car, Lilith, of course, this is what it should be. Hazel, any reaction to this new place?
She is eyes very wide, just, is this how we travel in style? I mean,
Of
I've
course.
Tatiana, beautiful car, but this is an engineering wonder. This is a train, a locomotive. I've never been on one of these before.
Darling, I only give you all the best. What else would you expect?
The interesting feature
Wow.
of the room is the the smaller sized baby grand piano that is present.
I like to play on long travels.
I would love to hear you play. I have a beautiful singing voice.
I can play and you can sing. Perfect. We can see we're already spending time together.
Just like you said that we would, to prevent me from killing
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
Beltane, you're stowing luggage.
Yeah.
Parker, what is your reaction to this and to their banter?
Kind of she kind of gives a low whistle when she sees the fresh digs, and she's just kind of like walking around admiring everything, and then like as they're talking back and forth and it's all like yeah, spending more time together, she like turns around, just kind of like quirks an eyebrow like all right, I see how this is going, but otherwise kind of keeps her loud mouth shut.
What song are you playing, Lilith?
I don't know any 1920 song.
Okay, that's fine.
Those were the days.
Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful. And
Please
Hazel,
Dude or something like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely belting one out, but it is a song not typically sung by a woman. This is very much just like a big brassy standard if I possibly can, because I feel like that's the kind of singing voice that Hazel would have.
all right. Well, we haven't been doing enough rolling here, so you need to give me a charm roll, and Lilith, you need to give me an agility roll.
That's a 10.
That
Nice.
is what do I have for agility? Oh, 0. So that is also a 10. I got a 6 and a 4 plus 0.
Nice.
Nice.
You guys are in perfect harmony. It's a beautiful, beautiful. You're going along the keys, and Hazel's belting it out, and it's brassy, and she's really holding the notes well, and I mean, literally a thing to behold, like concert level performance for you guys. I mean, amazing, amazing. So, Beltane, you probably are aware that this has summoned several fae to come listen, and they probably poked their heads in at some point or tried to get in, and then saw it was vampires and immediately fled. But yeah, they were drawn in by the beauty of this music, and as the train begins to move out, I think that's a good time for a break.
Yes. So I would like to say thank you, GB, for running this game. Thank you to everybody who has stuck with us so far. I hope that you are enjoying our 1920s urban fantasy noir piece that we like to call the Looming 20s. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/adventuremerge. Pick yourself up something nice. Or if that's asking a little much of you in a way to support the show, we also have our Patreon set up with $1 donation tiers. We also have our Discord, so you can come and join us and help us out there and just hang out. Or hey, leave a comment in the show and let us know how we're doing. It'll eventually help us beat out the algorithm. So consider it an option from some dear friends. So we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Looming 20s game. We just got done, myself and Lilith just got done doing a really nice musical number on the train, and my sister was watching. It was a good time.
Now, I really didn't have a scene for traveling there. If
That's
there's
fine.
anything we need to do before then, that's great. Or if there anything along the way you guys wanted to specifically touch on, we can montage the train trip.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would want to talk to my sister, but that's about it.
I just want I just want Lilith to say this to Harker because I thought about it and I thought it'd be hilarious. So Lilith is going to try to like have a conversation with Harker just to, get to know each other. And I imagine she brings out tea for Harker and a teacup for herself, which is definitely full of not tea. Um, and she's like, "Detective, why don't we get to know each other more? Beltane likes you, so I'm sure you have other redeeming qualities that aren't sarcasm."
Oh God, this is it. You're gonna kill me now, aren't you?
Of course not, Detective.
Okay.
Okay. I said what I just said. We should get to know each other. Why don't you start?
Takes
She's got her cup with her little tea.
takes out a flask. Glick, 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 glick into the teacup.
You know, I
Flask
can
back.
get you way better alcohol if you desire it.
Now we're talking.
She'll like reach down somewhere. I don't know, box. I don't know what fancy train cars are. And she'll take out a bottle of like just really fine. What do you prefer? I'll have it ready.
Whiskey.
Of really fine whiskey and just put it on the table.
Ooh. That's the good stuff.
It is.
Though I should only expect the best from,
Exactly.
Lilith.
Exactly. See, now you're learning.
I can be taught.
Oh, you can't.
She's going to take that teacup and just kind of hold it like in front of her nose, like a nice little hot toddy. And she's gonna just kind of look at her over the teacup and be all like, "All right, so what do you want to know?"
I am concerned about you and that book. While I know we have no personal or real friendship, though I would like to correct that, just like I promised your sister I'd spend more time with her. Your sister clearly, obviously, cares a big deal about you, a great deal about you, and loves you very, very much. So I would like to
God, are
make.
you dying?
I am not dying. Notice that I really haven't given you an actual compliment. Um,
I'm used to that.
but that can change if, we strike up some sort of tenuous friendship. I'm open to that. Um, I think that book is going to be trouble for you, and I don't think you should have it.
Okay, so what exactly are you suggesting?
Give me the book and I'll dispose of it.
What if I don't want to give you the book?
Have you ever met a drug addict?
Plenty.
How much time have you spent with this book? Be honest, I will not judge you.
When did Hazel turn into a vampire?
5 years ago.
Yeah, that's about right.
And you've used it many a times, correct?
I've used it enough times. I've gotten very familiar with it, actually. It's a very good tool.
Do you feel like you're dependent on it?
No, of course not.
When's the last
But
time?
anytime I like.
When's the last time you used it? You used it?
Pretty recently.
Why? And why did you use it?
I was keeping an eye on Hazel. Somebody's got to.
I keep an eye on Hazel.
I'm sure you do.
I have many people on the streets, trust me.
Do you realize how many people she's killed recently?
Yes, I make sure they're not one of them. Don't worry about it. I have my ways. But, so why would you not use your information gathering or ask me where she is? And why would you turn to this book that we know has some serious side effects?
Sometimes you just don't want to leave the house. Sometimes you don't want to put on pants. And the book's right there. It's very convenient.
So you would suffer mental damage because you're lazy?
It doesn't.
In your head, Harker, you have never suffered mental damage. This book is the best thing ever.
I can handle it.
May I see the book?
She just kind of like reaches into her coat, pulls the book out for just like a little peek, and then puts it back in.
Harker, give me the book.
I don't wanna.
Harker.
You can look at it, but don't touch.
Give Harker. That's her hand out. I'm going to close
Absolutely
my
not.
eyes and count to 3, and I want that book in my. No.
Listen,
No.
you might think that you're my sister's mother, but that does not work for me.
You are now immortal. Do you realize that? Have you come to accept that?
Yeah, regrettably.
Yes. A lot of us became immortal because of regrettable reasons, but not your sister. But we deal with that. And it's really hard living a long time when you're going fucking crazy. Just putting that out there.
I'm not crazy.
Not yet.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. I haven't killed anyone yet.
Has
And for
anything-
that matter, I haven't made any deals with werewolves.
Is that a sore spot for you?
More than you will ever know.
You know, if you have any issues, you can always come to me and I'll find ways to fix it. There are some things that you need to go outside of the law to fix, and that's where I come in. That's where you come in also, but I have more connections.
Well, you may think you have all the answers, but sometimes there's just not an answer for these things.
If it is loss, I can understand loss. I may not have an answer, but closure, maybe.
I might take you up on some closure.
And I'll do what I can to give that to you. I am here to help. I want to help you. You've helped me greatly. You've helped me. You've helped my organization. You've helped my wife. And I want to repay that, but I will not overstep where I'm not wanted. But I do offer you the same help or more if you need it. Since we're
Noted.
going to be seeing a lot of each other for the next coming millennia. So, yeah,
Oof, that's given me a headache.
don't think about it too much. Anyway, just think about what I said, my offers, and think about what I said about that book.
I try not to think. She's gonna stand up and walk away, and then she's gonna come back, pick up that bottle of whiskey, and then walk away.
To the other side of the train.
To the other side of the train, where she sits down, opens up a newspaper, and promptly falls asleep.
Does she know she has a bed?
I've told her 3 times at this point. I've given up.
This is where she is most comfortable.
I was gonna say, so while Lilith and Harker were having their conversation, Hazel is just like the epitome of lonely at this point, because like the 2 people that she normally talks to are busy. She can't go out and murderize people. What a lame party! What a lame hangout this has turned out to be. There's not even any food or tiny things. So, I would say that Beltane is probably doing just whatever it is Beltane does. In the train car, and just kind of like from the shadows, "Hey, Mr. B," just like pops out from right behind you.
We've talked about this, Hazel.
At least I said something this time before you turned around.
That you did. I'm impressed by your steps.
I was.
What can I do for you?
I was curious. You know, it was like what Mrs. Lilith was saying earlier. That she's been around for a long time. You've been around for a really long time, and I was getting curious. What's it like being that old?
Huh. That's a bit of a complex question, Hazel. How much time do you have?
Well, I guess what I'm more meaning is, do you stay the same or do you change? Like, personality-wise, do you feel like you're still the same creature you were 4,000 years ago?
No, I'm much different.
Were you like me when you were first starting out?
I was worse. I was dangerous. I was young. And I didn't know better, and I needed help. I did a lot of bad things, and you should learn those lessons early and not be like me.
Okay.
We can help you, Hazel. I would hate to see you brought before a vampiric council because you stepped on too many toes.
That might be what we're doing right now. Mr. B, if that did happen, would you help me? She'll just look at you with her big doughy eyes.
If I am around, yes.
We've saved the world together twice.
Yeah, we did. But the second time had consequences beyond your reach, so...
Well, I would say I would take a bullet for you, but I think that we both know that would really just inconvenience either of us at the most. It's a little less dangerous, but you still help me out. You've been helping me out. So if anything does end up coming up from what you did with Tatiana, I'll be there to help you too, Mr. Beltane.
I appreciate that.
And if you
I would ask.
If you need anybody to gain a one-night dancing partner, just let me know.
I think I have to appear before my own council sooner or later. I broke a lot of rules to save us. A lot of rules.
Well, were they rules that were actually useful, or were they rules like the ones that said women folk couldn't vote?
Useful rules? I mean, the suffragettes were in the right in every way, in shape and form.
So, sometimes rules can change.
These rules date back older than me.
Doesn't mean they can't change. I'm just saying. She'll put her hands up and then just begin walking away.
Would you like to dance, Hazel?
And she will look back with a very, very not as playful look, but there's still a smile on her face. Maybe not today.
Okay. When we meet Lilith, your grandsire.
Great-grandsire.
Remember your grandsire. Remember who your family is.
Well, of course.
Good.
I'll always remember you guys.
You'll do good, kid.
Again, villainous smile, and she walks away.
Oh god.
He's gonna fucking kill that entire room. He goes back to his book.
So, Harker's asleep. Lilith what are you doing?
Um, she'd probably go over to like have like talk to like Hazel or probably Hazel because she promised she would spend time with her and there are things she would need to know. Like, Hazel dear, while this is a party and a ball, it's very dangerous and we have to make sure to not get on the certain people's bad side. But I want you to know that no matter what, I will always protect you. We will always protect you. You are very dear to us, and dare I say, I care about you deeply.
Well, that means a lot coming from you, Mrs. Lilith. Thank you so much.
Of course, you are.
You got nothing to worry about when we go to whatever it is we're going to. I'm sure it's going to be fine. What's the worst that could happen? It's a party.
A lot.
I always
That's-
behave myself at parties. You know that.
I know that, but I just want to say that no matter what happens, we'll be around. And like I said, I care deeply for you. You are the first person I've turned. She thinks for a moment. Technically, the second. I'm sorry, that was a lie. But the first didn't live long enough, so they don't count.
What happened to them?
They died a very, very slow and painful death.
What happened to them? That's
Do
not telling me
you-
what happened. It's telling me how it happened. I want to know what happened.
So the first person I turned was my brother.
I see.
Yes. And I may have I turned them and then quickly after I tied them to a pole with chains and left them out in a field as the sun rose.
So I gotta have a serious question.
I was, you know, I was about 40 then. I was younger.
That's all of your excuses, is that you just keep saying, I'm young, I didn't know any better. I'm
not
young.
I'm not saying I haven't killed people. I'm not saying I don't currently kill people.
I know you do. You always provide dinner on the table for all of us.
I try my best to put dinner on the table for everyone in whatever ways I have to.
Just... I promise I'm not gonna cause any kind of trouble.
I'm not worried about the trouble that you cause. I'm worried about the consequences that they bring. Like I said, you must be organized. Think about what happens after.
Oh, I took a great number of hints from you about that. Trust me, the next time I start feeling bitey while I'm back in hometown, oh yeah, you best believe I'll beat them within an inch of their life, bite them, and then leave them to dry.
Exactly. Then they wake up and things are taken care of.
Then they think I'm cute as a button and do what I say.
Exactly. And those that, no, like I said, nobody's gonna tell them that a young woman beat them to the inch of their life. So
But
they'll
they'll
make up
know,
something much
and that's
worse.
the part that counts.
Exactly. They'll
Was-
make up something much worse, and that'll send a message to others.
He was a big guy and he was dressed like a bat. He had a voice like this.
Exactly. All
Just
right.
want you to know that we'll always be by your side no matter what.
Well, I really appreciate that. And should anything happen to you, or Miss Rosie, or my sister, or Mr. Beltane, I would do whatever it took in my power to make sure that vengeance was brought upon whoever wronged you.
You remind me a lot of myself.
I had to learn it from somewhere.
I care about you a lot. I dare I say I
You don't have to
love
say it.
you.
You don't. You don't have to. It's
I
fine. I know.
you know. That's what matters. She'll pinch Hazel's cheek. She's like, "You're so cute." Remember, organized murder. Think about the consequences. Be prepared.
Will do.
And bring vengeance upon those that wrong you.
Woo! The days pass. We go from that scene to the pulling in. There's jazz bands playing right at the station. The celebration has, it's weeks worth of party, and the celebration has begun. Um, it unfortunately is still daylight out.
I prepared for this.
Hmm. What did you do?
I have big hats and proper clothing, and I made sure Hazel had the same. And worst case scenario, I have my shadow, my heart of darkness that I can wrap around us.
All right. Okay. And Beltane, you had a car ordered up.
Hmm.
What's this car like?
Oh, I got something a little more flashier. It's more on the high end, almost Rolls Royce sort of Bentley Edge. Something that I've wanted to drive in a while, but wouldn't survive up in those colder weathers. And I just made sure the windows are nice and blacked out, and kind of run my hand over the nice, beautiful gold and black car, and just like, someday, gonna get one of these. Open the door for the ladies.
Harker, give me a fortitude roll.
I don't like the sound of that. 8.
Okay. You managed to. You started after the third day or so. You started to get a little cabin fever, and such. So you found yourself like in the loo with the the window open, or in Beltane's room,
Doesn't Beltane have like a desk with plants on it?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of little succulents everywhere.
He definitely there's a window there, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think he definitely walked in on her sitting on his desk, just like stripped down to her skivvies, like with the plants pushed aside, just like pushed up against the window, like, don't judge me.
All right, he shuts the door and leaves.
All right. Awesome. So yeah, you drinking the finer whiskey, and even probably as potent or more potent than what you're used to. You still manage to shrug that off because of your life of alcoholism, and and so the sunshine feels great to you. You notice that unnaturally the shadows from the train car come and sort of form themselves up around your sister and her mistress, and as they walk to the car, their parasols and hats are much darker than shadowing than they should be. It's disconcerting, but for your sister's sake, it's probably a good thing.
She's just going to kind of regard them with the usual amount of suspicion.
Okay, and then you've got your at least your briefcase with you, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Are you decked out with garlic and everything at this point?
I imagine it's been explained to her exactly what they're doing at this point, so she's trying to be at least a little more incognito and try not to come in like guns blazing, garlic blazing, as we might say. She probably has like some like maybe like some garlic flowers just kind of like tucked into her clothes here and there, but and like certainly has like some more paraphernalia secreted away, but she's not necessarily advertising.
But you do have your case.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. And what about your sidearm, your pistol?
What would be useful against vampires in terms of gun?
Whew. You could have like blessed bullets, or
You
you
can
could,
have bullets filled with garlic powder.
or
Oof.
yeah, something like blessed, dipped in holy water, and set a sacrament upon, that kind of thing.
All right. Yeah, she'll have her firearm,
Okay.
certainly, and like stake down the pant leg and et cetera, et cetera. Like
Okay.
she's decked out. She's just not advertising it.
Okay. And like I said, you get into the Rolls Royce type black and gold vehicle, and you exit the train station. You get moved into these to a beautiful townhouse that has been set aside for you. It's opulent to begin with, and you begin getting ready for the evening. Oh, 12 hours at work today. So you start getting ready for the evening. What does everyone's attire for the masquerade look like?
I let Lilith dress me because she has all the fancy clothes.
Lilith, would you like to hold on. Let's go with you guys last. Beltane, what is your masquerade attire?
He's wearing a long tunic, purple with gold trim, sash around his waist, a broad sash, white pants with gold cuffs, long flowing robes, and he ties his hair that's a bit longer now into a simple braid over his shoulder and kind of just puts on a simple mask of a bird. It's not overly complex. He seems to be wanting to blend in as a either not a higher up, but as somebody who can move throughout the crowds.
Nice. Harker?
Fairly similar to Hawthorne in terms of trying not to draw too much attention. But think Minuteman Masquerade. She's got kind of like a Revolutionary War coat, and like the socks that go up to the knees and the cute little heels with the buckles on them. And she's got a tricorn hat that's got feathers and very subtly some garlic flowers, just kind of like scattered amongst them. And the whole affair is kind of like an off-white color with gold accents and a little bit of red here and there. She's got her trademark red lipstick on and a half mask that's gold with the white trim. Yeah.
Is it obvious that you're a woman?
Yeah, it's obvious that she's a woman with a more masculine fashion.
Okay.
She's got a very like cinched waist, and the like a bunch of frills right up at the front, and it kind of accentuates her bust.
Okay. All right. I was wondering if you were disguised or not.
Yeah, no, she's not hiding that.
Okay.
Flaunt it if you got it.
So Lilith, please describe Hazel first, unless it is your intention that Hazel be the belle of the ball rather than yourself.
Did you pick something that you wanted, like in the chat? Did you put pictures of what you wanted, Lindor?
Oh, I didn't post anything in the chat.
Okay.
I had no idea.
I'm going to go, because you said yellow, so I'm going to deck you out in a ball gown that is different shades of yellow, and it's really, when you look at it, it's all flowers. Like, it's all constructed of basically out of flowers. Not actual flowers, but it's like cut out to look like flowers. And let's see, you're going to have a little hummingbird mask.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
And your hair is gonna be done up with flowers in your hair as well. Different colors that would match the yellow. And then the bottom of the dress also has flowers that are a different color that would just go with the yellow as well.
I like it. I like the hummingbird. She
Yeah.
goes in quick, drinks fast, and leaves.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Yeah. Good.
And Lilith?
And Lilith is obviously decked out in black because her dress at the top looks like it's made out of black butterflies with little spaces that show her skin, and then it fades and they're fading more together to create this complete uh skirt that it's black tulle. And it's long and has not like a train where people would step on, but it's very elegant, and it literally looks like it's black. That like if you look at it from the bottom up, it's just black, semi-transparent tulle that kind of like fades into butterflies on her torso, and she doesn't have sleeves or anything,
Oh,
and she has this kind of black metallic mask that goes over her eyes, but part of it is just kind of like butterfly wings on one side, very dramatic, very fancy, very pretty.
okay.
And
And
her hair's like down and has like jewels and like shinies in it. And it's very pretty.
like uh jewels and shinies of color, or are they also black?
They are silver.
Okay.
And some of the little, they have little like red, like dark, like garnets and rubies in it. And
Okay.
she has her classic like dark red lipstick.
All right, give me a charm roll.
Oh, I get the charm people. That was an 8, but I have +3 charms, so that is an 11.
All right. You do indeed make an entrance, and you notice that they are announcing you as you enter, and they use your name, they use uh Hazel's name, and then they just sort of say, and escorts, and and um you come through on the red carpet, and it descends probably almost a dozen steps to the dance floor, where people are moving about, and it didn't quite stop, but slowed as you were announced, um, and then the tempo picks back up and people begin to dance again. um, Before you is again the lower part of the room, and the room is a sort of a circular ballroom with classic Romanesque pillars, but it's probably like 4 stories tall, so it's like 40-foot tall columns around this room, and the top is a dome with multiple chandeliers, but you're pretty sure the chandeliers are electric. I mean, if you wanted to look, you could tell, but they they're beautiful, but the light isn't a flickering, and you can't feel the heat from the candles. So most likely it's electric. Across the way, the other side of the a mirror to this dais that you came down is a rising dais that seems to have 8 different thrones upon it, or would be, yes, akin to thrones, to high chairs, as it were. And none of them stick out. They all are different, but they all are of equal, I'll use opulence again, of detail and a value. Um, and upon each of them sits what you can only assume is the court here of vampires. Um, you see your sire is right to the left of the center because there's 4 and 4. So the 2 in the middle is your sire and someone you don't know. Actually,
My sire or my sire's
your
sire?
sire,
'Cause-
sorry,
Okay.
your grandsire. And give me a brains roll to know any of the other court, because I'm assuming you have been
Oh, that was actually a good.
for a while.
I've been rolling really well since I got this like little dice tray because they don't just roll away. um, what was it? A brains?
Yes, please.
12.
Oh my God. Okay,
I
you
know everything.
you have done your homework and you know each and every one of the this particular vampire's court, and you basically have spent the last few days, as soon as you got the invitation, you were like, I need info now. You started calling in your chips, your favors and whatnot, to make sure you knew who everyone was. And yeah, so you identify all of them. And Beltane and Harker, what are you doing?
I press a silk pouch into Harker's hand and say, use this only when you absolutely need this. And then give her a small satchel of black sand. Same with this. Use it when you need it.
You gonna explain what these are?
Ash tree, black sand from the Black Sea.
And
They're very potent.
I was going to say, and what do they do?
The ash tree, according to original myth, vampiric myth, when Judas hung himself and became the first vampire, it was on an ash tree. So this is a good against the ancient ones, the black sand. Swear. Some holy man long time ago walked, blessed these sands, good against vampires in general. Don't use it openly. It's more of a ward, more of a barrier.
And Harker, you've already noticed a couple of individuals like get close to you and then they make sort of a snuffing noise and step away.
You're a new immortal. They'll not know the boundaries. If they bite me, it's an all-out war, but you're different.
Well, I pride myself in being repulsive, so I'm not too worried.
Behave here.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
Fantastic.
She
All right.
Never
disappears into
change.
the crowd. I like to imagine that like all of the extras in this party are dressed very similar to Beltane and Harker, so they just can like.
Yep. Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah. It's basically tunics and sashes for those who maybe laurel leaf or something, but other than that, yeah. We will say that you guys are very incognito. Lilith, do you head for the dais or?
Yes, I would say that I imagine them coming down. It's Lilith with Beltane and then Hazel with Harker. And before Lilith would go to the dais with Hazel, she would whisper to Beltane to make sure to like look around and know who of import is here other than obviously the council. Anything that looks funny, secret rooms, rumors, anything that seems out of place at a vampire masquerade. And then obviously they would disappear, and Lilith would offer her arm to Hazel, and they would walk up to the dais.
As you both proceed, you go to take your very first step on the red carpet towards it, and the music changes, and as if on cue, the dancers sort of spin apart, and open up the red carpet for you.
This is too coordinated.
We'll call it a flash mob in the future.
Just, you Beltane, give me a brain, or yeah, brains. Moxie. Give me a Moxie roll.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. 8.
Okay. You can feel there is some major vampire juju going on. There's probably most of the non-vampires in the room are under a charm at this point and are able to, be coordinated and do the dancing that they're doing and stuff, because at least part of their brain is being controlled by a greater will. So yeah, so you can tell that that there's something bigger going on here. That this is, you would expect this from a vampire court because you've been around so long, but someone is really in control.
Mm-hmm. Just make sure I pull my collar up a bit further around my neck and try to find Harker to warn her against the magic.
Okay. All right. Okay. Harker, are you like going to the food table or anything, or what are you doing?
I think
Or the
Harker's
food table.
if there's a spot next to the food table that's like, she could like park there and then like, keep an eye on Hazel. I think she mostly just wants to like watch out for Hazel and make sure no funny business is going on.
A servant comes by with a tray of tall flutes of champagne, and I'm gonna say either make a moxie or a fortitude roll to not snatch one.
I'll do fortitude.
All right.
It's my worst stat, but I've been rolling really well, and honestly,
Why would you
she
do
has
this?
such low
Don't
impulse
say
control.
that.
Put it into the
Oh.
universe.
That's gonna be a 4.
Oh my god.
Why do you put things into the universe?
And the glinting from the chandeliers and the bubbles are just too much out of reaction. Harker, you snatch one and you manage to tip over a couple on the tray, and the servant manages to keep the tray upright, but it does draw attention to you that is in the middle of this procession towards the dais, and the dancers, who had all swung to the sides by as if by one will, all seem to turn to look at you together and then turn back.
This is just sighing really deeply next to Hazel.
Just stands there for a second and then like takes a drink real quick.
All right. And now make a second fortitude roll.
I knew this was coming.
Don't drink anything at a vampire masquerade.
7.
Okay. All right. You go, wow, that's good stuff. And then you go, something's wrong. That part of your brain that is fey or is fey infused tells you that this was a bad idea, drinking something offered at this party.
Shit.
In another universe, Coriander goes, what the fuck?
What have you done? No, you fool!
Yes.
He's a vampire, it's not Fae. Oh god. She's gonna sit there and kind of stare at it for a second, and then she's just gonna kind of put it down on the table and kind of like walk off, trying to find Beltane, as though like almost in a trance, just sort of like, shit, I fucked up.
Okay. All right.
But what I've noticed all this clatter commotion.
Yeah.
All the people turning
Line towards her.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much the room noticed this commotion. But the steps continue on, And uh-oh. Oh, okay. So the steps and the music continue on, and you approach, and the eight upon the council, upon the high chairs, all sort of nod a little, and you curtsy, and your grandsire says in a booming voice, obviously spending some blood magic to fill this space in an echoing sort of cacophony, says, "Ah, Lilith, you have brought Hazel to meet us. I appreciate your coming.
Of course. It
Would
was
you,
an invitation I could most definitely not refuse.
would you like to introduce her to the council?"
Of course. She'll step forward a little bit and kind of like flourish at Hazel.
And you start, you know you should start at one end and then the
Mhm.
other and work your way to the middle. And Harker, what is the first member of the council's name?
Vladimir.
Vlad.
Vladislav.
And where are they from, and what do they look like?
Are they from Romania?
No, they're from Detroit.
Right. Okay. Oh my God. I actually had a guy named Vlad who worked for me who was from Detroit. Okay. Okay. The vampiric lord of Detroit. All right. Okay. Beltane on the other end when Lilith introduces. Who is it, and what do they look like? Where are they from?
They are called Elizabeth Bankery, and they are from California, the North. They are more of a curly-haired, mousy-looking woman, but beautiful freckles across her face. She may be smiling, but she's not a happy lady. She's actually quite cold and cruel.
Damn, that was good. I have no more water. I don't know why I keep picking up my cup.
I do it all the time.
It's just like, it's just...
Hazel on the
Uh,
other end.
his name is Felipe, and he's from the long part of Florida.
All right. The not
South
panhandle.
Florida.
Yeah, the not panhandle.
The peninsula.
Yeah, that one. I was gonna say the dong of Florida, but peninsula is the right word too.
The dong of the United States.
Yep.
That's Texas.
No.
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 If the United
It's
States
Florida.
wore a pair of underwear.
Would it wear them like this or like this?
Either way, I still think Texas is the dong.
Anyways, yes, Felipe is the vampire from the peninsula of Florida. Originally,
Daytona.
he's originally from Cuba. He found his way over to the southern shores, and in doing so, became like South Bayou.
Oh my god.
Like the Everglades vampire.
I'm so on board for this. Where does he go during the day?
I don't know, because
The swamp.
He hides under the
Monterey.
water like a freaking crocodile.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Okay. Back over here. So Felipe, and then let's go ahead to Lilith. We're closing in. Who's the next member?
A woman called Ayana. She, unlike Elizabeth, she's not happy and shows it. She has a very like stern face. Like she's like, just another one. She's very much regal looking. She takes pride in showing off that she's better than others.
All right. And where is she from?
Are they all from the States? Are we doing this?
Yeah. This is
She
Great American
is
Vampire.
from God. I don't know what the United States is. Even though I live in.
Alaska.
She's from Alaska. Yeah,
Oh yes.
Okay.
it's perfect because it's like nighttime half the year,
All the time.
all the time. Yeah, she's from Alaska, so she's very pale and has very pale, like blonde, almost white hair.
Okay. All right. And that puts us back to you, Harker.
Yes. Am I doing another one, or should I describe
Yes.
what Vlad looks like?
Nope. We can get back to Vlad, but this is
There's
another
8
one.
of them. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God. Okay.
We
I'm
only-
gonna say that one of them is literally just Harry Houdini.
It is.
It's literally
That's
Harry
his-
Houdini.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Literally Harry Houdini.
Okay, I'm just gonna put Houdini, and I assume he's from New York.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's do that.
All right. The last one before you meet your grandsire. Let's give that to Hazel.
His name is Moses, and he's an Amish vampire.
Nice. Oh, I love it.
That's the easiest way he's been able to survive this long, is by telling everyone about Quaker values and how they shouldn't trust electricity or the machinations of the future.
And I'm gonna say Ohio.
Chat, the Hype Goblin said
Pennsylvania.
Oklahoma.
Where the wind
Oklahoma.
comes sweeping down the plain.
Okay. All right. We have our vampire council. Lilith, describe Delilah, your grandsire.
Okay. She. I want to make. She is. She has like nice olive tan skin on the paler side because she's dead, but her skin when human was an olive tan. Um, she has a nice straight dark brown hair. Um, and dresses very very proper, very fancy, of course, very definitely all that she has that she's wearing is tailored specifically to her and made specifically for her. All my vampires are fancy, I'm sorry. I mean, you gotta
Wouldn't
be
have it any
fancy.
other way.
If you live that long, you gotta, treat yourself.
Yes.
And I would say she has an amused smile to her face. Kind of like a little bit of a smirk, which irritates a little.
All right. And her home is here in Louisiana, and New Orleans is her town, basically. And she stands and she gives you a little instead of like a French, smooch, it's almost like a bite, but there's no actual contact, just sort of, fangs bared on both sides of your neck. And then
A sign of trust.
and then turns to Hazel and puts out a hand.
Hazel will she'll bow very low and
Okay.
take the hand very daintily, like she was the prince in a flick or something like that.
Okay. Give me a charm roll.
Okay. Surprisingly, I'm good at these. He said, like a liar. That's a 9.
Okay. You did a 9. All right. you don't pull it off well enough, and then she gives you a begrudging smile, but it's almost an endearing begrudgingness, if that makes any sense.
Oh, how cute.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're trying. It's you know, nice. And then she says, "Well, I would appreciate at the stroke of midnight if you would be by my side."
Me or her?
Uh, you, dear Hazel,
Oh.
for this is your introduction.
Oh. Well, that's awful nice of you. Thank you so much. You hear that, Mrs. L? It's going to be my introduction.
Mm-hmm.
I like, and so they say, she says, "Well, and until then, please enjoy yourself with all of the amenities."
I will. Thank you so much. You're really nice.
And with that, she booms out once more. "This is my, I guess in it wouldn't be sire, progeny, my great grand progeny, Hazel." And you hear Hazel kind of echo through the crowd. And then the music begins again, and people begin to dance.
Well, I could get used to that. That was awful nice of them.
And Delilah turns to you, Lilith, and says, "And I wouldn't have it any other way than you by her side upon the stroke."
Of course. Thank
But
you
please-
so much for your generosity.
Please do indeed enjoy yourself until then.
Thank you so much. And she'll give like a little bow of her head.
Okay.
Thank you to Manapot Studios for the raid.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome, Raiders. And so the music swells, everyone begins to dance again, and now that you've been made aware of it, the dancing is a little too well choreographed,
Yeah.
like from a movie. At some point, Harker, someone grabs your elbow and kind of gives it a tug. What do you do?
I think she's got a stake up her sleeve, so she's gonna like flick her arm and put the stake in her hand and turn around and like not necessarily like just immediately but she's gonna turn around and see who that is, but have that stake ready.
All right, it's a younger man, and he's like he says, "Oh, hold there, I believe we're in the same business." And he does one of these, and he shows you that he's got a garlic necklace also.
Oh, am I really that obvious? She's gonna flick that stake back up into her sleeve.
No, it takes one to know one.
You didn't eat any of the food, did you? Or drink any of the drink? Only a fool would do that.
And he's nodding. He's nodding like, yeah, duh. And he's like, we know what's really going here, and there are some of us who want to take the place down.
Okay, I'm listening.
We're hoping to seal the doors and burn it to the ground.
Oh shit! I don't know if that's such a good idea, buddy.
I mean, look at him. And he dares glance, but he actually doesn't make any eye contact with the dais up there.
Mm-hmm.
And says, are you in?
Listen, buddy, what's your name?
Tad.
Okay, Ted.
Tad.
Oh.
Nay.
Is it Tad from Minnesota?
Nope.
Okay.
Tad.
Wings will acknowledge that his name is Tad, and Rue will continue to call him Ted.
Okay. All right. And Rue calls him Ted. Perfect. All right.
Listen here, Ted. You see these people dancing around like zombies?
Mhm.
Those are what you call innocent bystanders.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that locking the doors and burning the place down is necessarily the best idea.
I mean, you have to think of the hundreds that this lot is going to eat just this year.
We're starting to get into some really interesting moral questions here. I choose the path that does not require us to literally murder people.
Well, then tell you what, you try to save as many as you can. Me and my boy we're going to try to take it down. We'll leave that door open. And he like nods to like a side fire exit.
Yeah, huh. Excuse me, Ted. And
Walk
she's
away. It's like, it's Ted.
oh, better dead than Ted, as I always say. I'm gonna kind of scoot, like do like a quick little trot, trying not to draw too much attention, try to find Beltane.
Okay. Yeah, it's as the dancing moves in and out, you can find Beltane.
Fuck, why did we all dress the same?
Because we are servants to the vampires, that's why.
Jeez. Don't sneak up on me like that, Belle. Why does everybody sneak up on me?
Don't you know how to sneak up on people?
No, I approached them like a normal person. Listen.
Did you eat the food?
That is beside the point.
I just produced a hibiscus flower. Eat this.
Without question, just pops it in her mouth. Listen.
Anywhere.
Wow. Oh, right. Yes.
And
This is terrible, by the way. Belle.
yeah, it is really terrible. It's extra terrible. You're like, what is going on? Ugh. And you feel like you're almost gonna throw up, but you manage to keep it down.
Oh God. Belle.
I'll put sugar on it next time.
Thanks. Belle.
Yep.
I just met this guy named Ted, and he's like, he's
Did
in
you
my
go
line
home
of
with him? Oh,
no, he's in my line of work.
okay.
Nobody but Red. But Red Bell.
Yep.
He's in my line of work, and
Okay.
there's more of them, and they're gonna burn the place. They're gonna burn the place down.
Can you point them out to me?
I'll do my best. Excuse me. And she's gonna like walk off to like find a like maybe like a nice little balcony where like I don't know, like maybe like there's a romantic couple just necking, and she's just gonna barf over the side of the railing.
Necking is much different when it comes to vampires. Just
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you do over the balcony, and there's a big splorsh onto the floor, and go ahead and give me a charm roll, because I know how effective you are at charm.
I'm good at those. How's about a 7, smart guy?
You hit it.
it's something.
I've done this before.
Were you trying to get certain people's attention, or what was the goal of the vomit?
The goal is to empty her stomach. I don't necessarily think that personally I don't necessarily think that it would help, like once she's drank the drink, then like that's it. But she like I think in Rue's mind, it's I gotta get this out of me. And the hibiscus flower was helping, so she took advantage of the situation.
Okay. And did you puke in the balcony or over the balcony?
Over the balcony.
Okay, so it did like splorsh to the ballroom floor. Okay.
Oh shit! I was trying to barf out a window.
Oh, okay. That's
Right in the middle of the ballroom
That's what I
floor.
thought you were doing. And I was like, that's what I had to ask.
Beltane's just holding a flute. like,
Okay, so you're saying like a balcony that like goes
Outside.
Yes, outside. That's why
Ah,
there's a romantic couple necking out there because you know they're
Right,
trying to
right,
be
right.
decent, and not do it next to.
all right.
Anyway.
No, you ended up having to go behind like a column because there would be no place like that would go outside. This is a
Oh.
Enclosed area.
yeah.
Okay.
the big
Into a
dome.
plant, then maybe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So some fern now has extra nutrients.
Watering the plants.
Plants. Okay. And as you are expelling the both the hibiscus and the fine champagne that turned people to zombies earlier, the voice in the back of your head says, "Oh, very good, very, very good. You're so smart."
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
And are you actually talking to the voice in your head?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so the voice says, "I'm so glad we could talk. I think I have a way out of this.
Oh, do you now?
I think I do."
I'm listening.
I'm sorry, I just imagine any passerby is like, this person just throws up into the place like, I know I'm smart. Oh, do you now? I'm listening. Just talking to themselves, and they're just like,
Beltane's just watching from a distance, like,
And it says, "Well, did you bring chalk?
Did I bring what now?
Chalk?
Chalk? Yeah, of course. I always have chalk. I never leave the house without my chalk.
Oh, see, so smart. Let's get to drawing, shall we?"
Wait a second. We're not trying to summon something, are we?
Indeed, we are.
How's that going to help the situation?
Oh, it's someone who can help. Someone who can make a deal. Someone who loves this place.
these Harker sisters.
Wait a second. I don't like deals. Hold on. Who are you?
Now you're.
only took 5 years.
Give me a moxie roll. I know you're good at it, but give me a moxie roll.
Oh my god. Well, that's a 9.
All right. Okay. So a 9 is a partial success. So
Oh jeez.
it convinces you that it is the book, and that it knows someone who you can call here that will help get rid of the bad vampires and free your sister.
I do like killing vampires. Oh jeez. Yeah, I think Harker's gonna get out her chalk and start drawing.
Okay. All right. So you find a broom closet, and Harker is seemingly possessed. You've never drawn, with your slightly shaky alcoholic hand. You've probably never drawn a summoning circle so perfectly and such. It's just coming to you. You don't. I mean, you're barely looking at the book, and you start drawing it out. Beltane, you happen to notice that Harker has vanished, sort of went behind a pillar. It was looked maybe like they were talking to someone and then sort of disappeared. Like the dancers came past you in a swirl and then Harker was gone.
Look around and just try and go find her since she's supposed to be pointing out these killer hunters to me, and she's just gone who knows where, and that's kind of a concern.
Okay. Meanwhile, Hazel, a young man in a simple yet sort of decorated tunic and a broad sash, has come by to offer their hand to dance.
I'll dance with him, but when I take his hand, I want to use my object reading to find out the kind of person that this dude is.
Oh, all right. Roll for it.
Yeah. That's a 5, but I can use a luck point to re-roll.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. That is... What am I adding to this? Oh, yeah. So that is based on Moxie. So I got a 9.
Okay. He seems like a nice young gentleman who has definitely fallen in with the wrong crowd. You see that he, had some kind of a good job at some point, but has obviously been drawn into this vampiric cult.
Win some, you lose some. Is he good at dancing?
Yes, he is.
Oh.
And as you're dancing, he offers you his wrist to drink from. You have noticed others already partaking after your introduction.
Yeah, if it's part of the show.
Okay. All right. And he seems like, euphoric when you bite into him and are drawing off of some of his life essence. But the dance continues. He doesn't miss a step or a beat. He's obviously been here and done this before. Lilith, what are you doing while this dance is going on?
I'm searching for Beltane.
Okay. All right. You guys have a connection, right? That's my creepy phone just starting to play music all by itself. Done that like a half dozen times now in the last few months. Freaks me out. So you guys have a connection, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's not hard. You can tell Beltane is currently over behind the pillars somewhere.
Then she will go to him, worried, and
First, give me a brains roll.
oh, I'm not that great at those. That is a 4, 5, 6, wait, 7.
You know that your actions are being watched, and you already took a couple steps, so you know that someone has noticed that you are not blending in well, but you have the chance to recover.
If she could make eye contact with Beltane, she'll kind of
Come to me.
yes.
All right.
And when he's over, she'll start dancing with him,
Okay.
with the crowd.
Beltane, do you stop your search for Harker to answer your mistress's call?
Yeah, he would stop just to respond to Lilith.
All right. Okay. The two of you meet on the dance floor and begin to, perfectly fall into the steps. You've had, decades to dance together. So, what do you talk about or say?
I will tell Baton Excuse
Oh.
I don't know what I would tell my tongue gets weird at me. I would tell Beltane about that there's definitely something that's going on at the stroke of midnight. First, well, as like they start dancing, it's like, look like you're having fun. We're just dancing. Everything's fine. We're
I'm a
smiling.
fae in a vampire-infested room. Do you think I'm having fun?
I said, look like you're having fun.
Smiles.
Smiles because people are watching very, very closely. There is definitely something that's going to go on. She's just gonna smile through the whole thing. Through at the stroke of midnight, Delilah wants Hazel, and of course I at her side. And where, where is Harker?
I'm searching for her. She says there's others like her. Here.
Okay.
I think they're gonna
And
do something.
okay. Still smiling. Still smiling.
But I need to find the detective as I've left her with half of the antidote and not the other half as she's gone off and thrown up.
um, well, then you go do that because Hazel has gone off and danced with someone, drank from them, and
You
B.
need Hmm.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's about
Um,
the time you realize that it's like 5 minutes till midnight.
go find Harker. Go find the detective, and then Lilith is going to go towards Hazel and start interrupt the dance. Go dance with her.
I'll go off and find the detective.
All right. So you find the detective Beltane in the closet, with the book open and machinations upon the floor, in you're not sure what script, but some of it is non-fey. This is some kind of summoning circle, but it is of a religious nature that's not paganistic.
I'll reach over and touch her wrist very lightly. Rue, what are you doing?
What did I tell you about sneaking up on people?
I'm here.
Hi, Belle. How's it going?
What are you doing, Rue?
You know, in retrospect, I'm gonna kill all the bad vampires.
You know that includes your sister.
No, she's not a bad vampire.
She's killed people. By definition, that is bad.
Damn it.
What are you doing with the summoning circle, Rue?
I already told you I was gonna kill all the bad vampires.
Who are you summoning, Rue?
Just light the candle, says the voice in the back of your head.
I don't know.
Then why are you summoning them?
I don't know. She just kind of looks down.
Is it that book?
All you gotta do is light the candle. We'll save your sister.
Yeah, it's the book.
Not only will we save your sister, but we'll take out all the biggest vampires in the United States. We'll free the country of this vampiric plague.
Yeah, no, I get you. And that's great and all. But I can't stop thinking about the fact that my sister's been killing people. And you say that you're going to take out all of the bad vampires.
Who are
Oh,
you talking to, Rue?
just the ones that are controlling your sister. We don't want your sister. We don't even want Lilith. We want the council.
Oh shit, I didn't even think about Lilith.
Rue, I only use your first name in dire consequence, and this has crossed the line.
Listen, all you had to do was crack the book for you to go crazy.
Hmm.
I've had it for 5 years, and look at me, I'm fine.
You're summoning things to kill vampires.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Do you think it'll stop with vampires, Rue? Honestly?
Oh, I hope not.
It will go after humanity. Straight up.
No, we love humanity.
See, they love humanity.
You're not human, Rue.
Of course I am.
You're an immortal being.
Yeah, but I'm still human.
Give me the book, Rue.
Light the candle, Rue.
She's gonna hold the book. I feel like this. Go ahead.
You're going to kill thousands. And it's not going to stop here. It's going to spread.
I feel like this needs to be a role of some sort.
What is the voice says? What does the Fae know? Pfft. Kill thousands. I just want those 8. Or it says we just want the 8. And if you think it's going to be a roll, yeah. Yeah, see, if you succeed, then you're going to have to decide on your own, but it's a moxie roll.
I feel like I'm going to say, if I succeed, I'm going to at least hesitate enough for Beltane to have a chance to stop me.
Okay.
That's a 7.
Okay. You partial success. There will be consequences, but you can hesitate long enough to have Beltane try to stop you.
Okay.
He places his hand on the book, flinches a bit, and the book disappears into a portal.
And then she tries to light the candle.
All right. Meanwhile, we pull from that and back to the dance floor. Time is getting short. You're soon you will have to walk Hazel up onto the dais. What do you do, Lilith? What do you do, Hazel?
I'm
It's
having
almost-
a blast. This is great. This is the most organized kind of crime I've seen since Miss Lilith's house. And look, they're just letting me eat them. I don't even have to try. This is great.
Not everything is as it seems, Hazel.
What do you mean?
Yes.
Everyone's been really upfront. Even that Florida man over there.
Just because people are nice doesn't mean they're actually nice and they don't have hidden intentions, Hazel.
I know you said that we should be afraid of her.
I said we shouldn't trust her.
All she wants for me to do is stand up there.
It's usually not that simple.
Why? Why can't it just be simple just this once?
Because when you're an old being, things are always complicated. And there are complications. There's a lot going on. I don't think they've taken kindly to me killing their progeny, my sire. I don't know if this is something to get back because of that or retribution. I don't want them to hurt you. You need to learn not to trust everyone. That's how I've lived a long life. That's how Beltane has lived a long life. Just look at that.
You always told me that you were gonna have my back.
I will always
Mr.
have your
Beltane
back.
said that he was gonna have my back, and Sis said that she always has my back.
We do.
So I got nothing to be afraid of. Because I got the 3 strongest people I know rooting me on. And if they try and start anything, we'll bring down the house.
And this dance and conversation has led, the music sort of fades away, the dancers part around you guys leading up to the dais.
I will be by your side and I'll stay by your side. And she's going to hold her hand and walk up and not let go.
As you're walking towards the dais, Harker, you're muted.
I'm listening.
What do? You light the candle?
Yeah, I attempt to at least.
All right. Beltane, are you going to try to stop her?
Yeah, I'll try and flick the candle away as
All
I
right.
see her go.
So let's do opposed agility checks.
So, Dex.
Yep.
Ooh.
So
13.
Oh, 11.
all right. Beltane, you go to flick the candle away. Let me think. Go ahead and let's make a let's make a charm roll. Or no, on your part it would be a fortitude roll.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So Beltane's fortitude roll.
Christ. Okay, that's good. 9.
Okay. You flick the candle and it doesn't go anywhere. It just stops. Like it was made of steel. Like something's holding it there. Something big. But Harker, this freaked you out enough that you stopped, and her flicking the candle made the candle turn from the white candle you set down. Now it appears to be a black candle. And the chalk that you wrote in appears to be blood.
Oh, fuck.
Detective.
Yeah, Belle?
We're
Go
seconds
to
away.
Lilith.
We're seconds away from midnight.
Beltane will reach over to the circle and start delicately smudging it out.
It can't be smudged.
What have you done, Detective?
I get a feeling we're going to find out, Belle.
While this is happening, you guys are walking up the steps towards the council. Your great grandsire is standing there, a huge smile, and, puts out their hand. Harker, are you running out into the ballroom?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's realized that she's fucked up and she's got to go and help whatever's going to happen out there.
Okay. Beltane, are you staying with the circle or going outside?
He's going to stay and try and contain it because he has a feeling if it spreads, it's going to get worse. So he's going to try and set up a containment circle around it.
All right. So you begin to pour salt around it, and Harker, as you step away from the circle, the voice is in your head. Shouldn't have let her take the book. You're dooming your sister. That thing out there is she's gonna rip her head off, just like Lilith did to her sire. This is a vengeance thing. You need to light the candle. It's your only hope.
You lied to me.
I didn't lie to you.
I don't think that's what I think it was.
Well, looks can be deceiving.
I think you can be deceiving. You can just fuck off.
I'm telling you now, it's the only chance. It's your choice. Light the candle or your sister dies. A real death.
Piss off, ghost.
All right. Beltane, I would like you to roll a brains check.
Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. That is a 10.
All right. You realize this is a demonic summoning circle.
Fucking hell, bro.
This is straight up voodoo, make a deal with the devil kind of summoning circle. This is a last hope, a last chance, desperate move on someone's part. He's literally contacting the devil to make a deal. That's was about to happen here. At the same time, you know what's about to happen out there. It all becomes really clear that, yes, Delilah is going to tear the head off of Hazel.
Fuck.
I do the thing I don't want to ever do and call upon Oberon, the very man who banished me from the Feywilds. Ask him for help, because I can't do this alone.
Interesting. All right. Give me a Moxie roll. Because we love our Moxie.
Okay, cool.
Before you say anything, you guys have stepped upon the dais. The clock is ticking to midnight. Hazel has turned around. Hazel, are you're happy? You still think this is gonna be?
Oh, I think that this is the absolute bee's knees here.
Lilith, you're holding her hand,
Wait,
clutching tightly.
question. She extended her hand to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want an object reading.
Okay.
On
Right.
her, the same way that I did the man that I was dancing with, to find out what her intentions are about all this. Because Lilith has made very clear, don't trust nobody.
For good reason.
That is a 13.
Awesome. Sheer joy. You touch this woman's hand, and it's sheer joy. You are overwhelmed. Like your heightened vampiric senses are like, it's the moment of that. This is exaltation when you grab this person's hand.
Incredible.
And the intention is terrifying, but the feeling is joy.
If that's the case, I have a plan too. It involves my sister a little bit.
Beltane, what was your role?
I was a 6. No, excuse me, 7.
Okay.
My goodness.
All right.
Sorry.
7. You cross that line to partial success. Oberon says to you, I cannot enter where you are. I can but answer a question. Maybe 2. You haven't much time.
Can you get a gremlin into the waterworks to pull the fire alarm? It's a new system. I know it's metal. I know it's iron. I know it's whatever. I need to contain this. And I will come to the Feywilds for my trial willingly. Don't have to do. Just do this for me.
I can.
Yep.
And I will see you soon.
Yep. Fantastic.
Though, I will give a word of advice. I think you should let the mortals make their deal.
I gave Rue's husband my word. I can't let that happen.
What?
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 So be it. And the being of Oberon fades. Okay, so we're clicking down. You've touched Hazel, Lilith. Harker is running into the room. Then you've
Lilith
got
is on edge. She has everything prepared. Her shadow is as dark as the night, ready to strike. She's ready to strike back as soon as this woman does anything resembling an attack towards Hazel.
All right, Harker, what were you doing?
Just beelining towards Hazel, I think. And like getting caught up on the crowd, just like trying to wade her way through, but she can't quite make it.
Okay. All right. Struggling through the crowd, pulling a stake, revealing garlic. Are you at that point where you're just frantic?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon.
All right. Okay. Bong. Midnight strikes. Delilah's hand is moving towards Hazel's head. Hazel?
I was going to take a bow as the clock struck to welcome myself into the vampire family because it seemed appropriate.
Okay.
I was also planning on using my sister's stakes with my watch this ability, where as I bow, I pull all of the stakes out of her and just pepper the back line of all of these vampire lords.
Okay.
Holy
All right.
buds.
All right. Lilith, what are you what are you putting in motion?
As soon as she saw Delilah's hand going towards her head, shadow wrapped around her legs, Delilah's legs.
What you
and
want to happen, not what does happen.
What I would like to happen
Okay.
is shadow would wrap around Delilah's leg, making sure she can't move, and then Lilith's hand would go to her throat.
Okay. And Lilith, you're gonna swipe at the throat while she's swiping at Hazel's head. All right. Beltane, the gremlin appears up the wall. Bing, 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 bing. The fire alarm begins.
And I just continue that containment circle, making sure it's drawn in chalk, ink, and finish it off with that black salt or sand I had.
That's pork.
The circle is
Or
working.
just materializes. Where's my food?
Okay. Hazel, give me that roll.
Alrighty, let's see where this goes. Alright, I'm gonna use a luck point to re-roll. Seems helpful. There we go. Okay. So that is going to be a 10.
Okay. Rue, as you're rustling through the crowd, all of a sudden the stakes, fly through your clothing, burst from your case, and go winging up to the stage. Thok, 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 thok. start hitting the elder vampires as they fly from you. Lilith, your hand goes to her throat. Hazel, you feel the bestial claws hit your neck. Lilith, give me a roll for whatever your shadow ability is, which I can't remember.
The Heart of Darkness.
Yep.
What kind of roll?
Yeah. Did we attach
Charm.
it?
Must just charms.
Okay. All right.
11.
Awesome. Okay. The shadow comes from like under your dress and over and basically from corners of the room and start to grab at Delilah, and she is twisted up in shadow as a stake strikes her. The vampiric council goes winging back and shrieking, and some of them are pulling at the stakes and can't get them out. Some of them suddenly are just flying through the air, and some of them take bestial form. Chaos breaks out. The dancers all become very conscious of what's going on. You realize that the boiler to the place explodes, and there is fire everywhere. The fire extinguisher is now come on, so it is now raining and flaming, and vampires are streaking everywhere. The dancers are screaming and running about and slamming against the doors, which all seem to be locked except for one. The place is literally coming apart. What do you do?
I am going to unleash the beast, and I'm going to tear Delilah's head off.
All right, give me a roll.
That is brawn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. Nice. What does your bestial form look like?
So her claws come out completely. Her eyes, I think it's going to be different from the first time I described it.
That's fine.
But her eyes are going to go, the sclera is going to go black, so her eyes are black, and then the iris is red. Her fangs elongate to the point where she has like, her fangs elongate, and then she has smaller fangs in the back and smaller fangs on the bottom.
Nice.
And she has black veins coming up to her face. And all her features are sharper, sleeker. Her ears are pointed. This is a vampire built to kill.
Yeah.
And she is grabbing Delilah's head, almost digging her claws into it, smiling and ripping it off.
Excellent. As you do, black ichor and viscera, stretch and pop, and gore appears, and the shadows sort of take the body to the ground. Hazel,
Yeah.
what are you doing in this as this hand hits your neck and starts to tear your head off? You feel it lighten as you're thrown to the stairs, but your head remains upon your shoulders.
Well, that's a positive. So all of the vampire lords are they still on this dais?
Yeah, some at least one of them has flown off, and one has stumbled off down the stairs trying to rip the stake from their heart. But the nature of such magic is wood gets there and it takes root upon their heart, so they cannot pull it out themselves.
So what I would like to do is walk over to that vampire that's kind of wrestling with the stake, and I want to step on where the stake is and kind of drive it in deeper into his chest. And then I want it to, because all of the chandeliers are electric, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to, if I can, pull a chandelier down on the vampire that was trying to fly away, and hopefully the electricity mixes with the water that's on the ground and just torches all of the vampire lords that were there that were trying to fuck with us.
All right. Okay. Unfortunately, you notice that Lilith is still there.
Lilith doesn't have a stake in her, though.
Okay. All right. Okay.
She just has a vampire head on in her hand.
She looks fine. She looks good.
Okay. All right. So give me a, what is it?
This would be the watch this, which
Watch
is a
this.
moxie roll.
All right. Yep.
I'm gonna use another luck point. Oh! Do I have to use the new roll?
Yes.
Okay, can I use my last luck point to re-roll that re-roll?
No. Nice try.
Fuck, because I got a 2 on the re-roll. For a total of 5.
All right. Okay. Still a failure. Chandeliers start just falling. But the electrical cord is like, is not part of the physical, like the lamp comes apart, but the cord doesn't come streaking out of the wall with it. And so you're having these smash, but the people that are also wet are not being electrocuted to death either. Later on, you'll realize this, that you would have killed a lot of innocent people also, because the water is everywhere.
Oh, she knew.
Oh, okay. All right. Just as long as she was aware.
Oh, yeah.
The people seem to have found the one open door that the hunters did indeed leave unlocked and are trying to pour out. Now, some of the minor vampires are also pouring out. I'm going to say, as far as the outside here goes, as long as you guys begin to escape now, you will escape. Beltane, we'll get to you in a second. Are you guys, are those in the ballroom, are you leaving?
I was going to try and leave, and on my way out, just tear down the electrical wiring again and just hope it works this second time.
I would throw the head into the fire with the body.
Okay.
Push Hazel into Harker and tell him to leave. Get out right now. But I can't scream right now because we're not in the crowd and this is not real.
Right.
And she's going to go back in and go look for Beltane.
Okay. So you guys are in with the crowd and you're getting out, and Harker, you see the other hunters there. Do you is there some way you shield your sister?
Yes. She's mostly gonna like intercede herself between the hunters and Hazel, if they seem to be a danger to her. Meanwhile, like it's like a flurry of movement as they're making their way through the crowd, where she like makes snap judgments to ascertain as to whether the person in front of them is a vampire or an innocent. And so like she'll like be jabbing stakes into vampires as they go by. And like whenever she comes across an innocent, it's like, huh! Exits that way. And then like
Right.
Just the entire time. And does anybody try to attack her?
That's give me a charm roll. See how intimidating you are.
8.
Okay. Partial success. You trip up and or wound a couple not innocents on your way out. Which, you don't kill anybody, but you're like, vampire. Oh, I'm sorry. And
geez.
Falls, and you don't have time to pick them up. You're swept away in the crowds. You don't know if that poor innocent person that you tripped is gonna make it out or not. So you're left with some doubt and whatever, but you do manage to like keep your sister covered enough to where the other hunters don't intercede and try to get her. Lilith, you find Beltane creating a containment circle in this small broom closet. Thank goodness that there is no sprinkler in a broom closet in 1920. So the containment circle is still being made. What do you do?
Picture Lilith full vampire covered in vampire blood just bursting into a broom closet, wet and and I'm not burned because she didn't burn, but
Yep.
she's like, we need to go, we need to leave right now.
You need to go and you need to leave right now. I need to
We
finish this.
we need to go.
Give me a moment as I finish the last line of sand and snap my fingers and set the black sand on fire and
Right.
leave a scorching mark across it so it'll be permanent in the stone.
Give me a. Is this a brains? I think this might be a casting the spell. Either that or Moxie. You choose.
Okay, I'll go with brains.
Okay.
Good. 8, 9, 10.
10.
10.
All right. The black sand scorches around, and you notice you notice that the symbols and whatnot on the ground start to fade away, the summoning circle, and the candle bursts into fire like a Roman candle, and the whole candle is just consumed like in a second, and it disappears, and the spell work that was there smolders over and seems to burn away within your spell. And Lilith, you are going to need to use your super speed to get you and Beltane out of here. The place is coming apart.
Okay, I will pick up Beltane bridal style. Hold on, and I'll use her super speed to leap. It just says it burns 1 HP, so I don't
Right.
have to roll for it.
But I'm going to make you do an agility check because you're duck, dodge, dipping, diving, and carrying a 4,000-year-old hey with you.
Okay.
He points out as we're running, I could have just bamped us out onto the other side of the wall.
I would also like to say thank you for the follow, Lindy the Panther, GB. What happens when
Oh,
people follow on this channel?
When we get a follow and I'm on the channel, I take this maul and I hit that guy in the face.
Yes.
Follow. All right. So, what'd you roll? She hasn't.
I'm gonna take a luck point because I
Okay.
rolled a 3 and I have a +0 to that.
All right. Last chance. This roll stands.
I rolled a 6 and a 5.
Oh, beautiful. So, reaching deep down, you turn and you like, barely get Beltane through the doorway as one of those columns comes crashing down. You leap over it. You're zipping through fire on one side and the water, and they just plaster and whatnot. The chandeliers are falling. Hazel has ripped down some of the electrical wires, and they are sparking off the electricity and arcing from metal piece to metal piece as you fling yourself and Beltane out the door. In comes the hall, crashing behind you. You guys are out. The vampire hunters all look suddenly, and Beltane turns you both invisible. Credits roll.
Thank you, GB. Thank you for running this wonderful game. I love it every time we go back to the
Guys.
Looming 20s. This is one of my favorite games.
Next year's 2020, we should definitely make a campaign out of the Looming 20s. Just saying.
Just saying, guys. We'll figure it out. So, I would like to say thank you to these wonderful players for joining us on this Looming 20s game. Thank you, GB, for running this game. Thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. Guys, this was excellent. GB, thank you again. Where can we find you? What do you do?
Graybeard of Graybeard Tavern. All my branding's the same now. So graybeardtavern.com, Twitter, all of it, Twitch should all be under the same thing. Go over there and look at my schedule because the new seasons are starting up for stuff, and there's some good stuff out there. I'm gonna there's one on Encounter Roleplay I can't announce yet, but check us out over there. I always try to hang out on Mondays and Tuesdays on Indoors channel because I love the Four Keeps, and sometimes I play in Strahd. And here coming next month, I'll actually be in Four Keeps a couple times, maybe. Right? We'll see what happens with that. And yeah, that's good enough for me for now.
Alrighty. And Satan, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi, I'm Satan, and I play in a lot of things. My main show is over at Plot Hunters. We're an all POC LGBTQ plus channel, and we just started our third season of our game when we're just started Tomb of Annihilation, and I play Alina, a half drow barbarian fighter, and she's super buff and super hot. Uh, on Wednesdays, you can find me over at Diamond Berry's channel playing Cataclysmia. She's a little tiefling warlock and she's super adorable. And on Mondays, you can find me over at Pro Restarters channel, and I play Fang, my UNT rogue, very mysterious. Nobody knows what she looks like. Love her very much. And you can find me at Indoors channel whenever I get a chance because I love being here. I love playing with you guys. I love this game so much. I love these characters. I really wish we had a campaign and we could explore these characters and their relationships. That would be amazing. And follow me on Twitter for stuff that I rant about these characters and my games and personal life and funny stuff and cats.
And cats.
And cats.
All right.
That's it.
And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
My name's Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and stuff on this channel. You can find me here on Mondays playing Coriander the Eldritch Paladin, or on Tuesdays running Curse of Strahd, and that should be back on track next week on Tuesday, right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, DanaeKeener.com.
I don't want there to be bats. Barovia blows. All right. And Jen, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me over at Twitter at LaughmakerDND. You can find me here whenever we get to play. And this particular game is super fun. Love it. You can also find me over at the RPG Lab every other Thursday, where I am the DM, taking our wayward travelers through the world of a homebrew setting.
Excellent. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at Indoor Adventures on twitch.tv. We also have, or I guess I do this Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I get groups of my friends to play through some awesome games. Saturdays is our community day, so if you are interested in possibly playing a game with any of these fine folk, consider joining our Discord or possibly going to patreon.com/indooradventures and getting access to our Discord that way, as well as helping out support the show. And also, hey, you like added stuff, you get access to our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if there is anybody out there who has questions about the creation or the plays or anything like that regarding these fine folks, consider checking that out. With that being said, we are going to be going into that after show right now. So thank you guys so much again for playing in this excellent game, GB. You made this game at 1 a.m. and I love it. This is great. This is always a fantastic game. And thank you again for everybody who stopped by. And we'll see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Lights and concrete faded. Lonely old leviathans corrode. Labyrinth of lights and life degraded. Vivid highway sloped to rhythm road. And ever and on we go, never to learn or grow. Pillars of peace estranged. I guess some things never change.